My name is CaptDaf, and today I'll be doing a live recap of the previous episode of Changeling the Streaming, which I have not yet set up or gotten into the right position or anything like that. I did go and make coffee, which was very helpful to the things that I need to do. But normally I've gotten the video online and stuff like that first. But I have not. So I'm just navigating to Liz's YouTube channel, which is where the video lives. And here we are. And I'll pull that out into its own thing. And I'll want to jump forward to around about here-ish, maybe? Oh, hey. Soul Search, hello, welcome to the stream. Give Liz's video a thumbs up because you should always give people's videos a thumbs up on YouTube if you've liked it, and I'm sure that I will like it. I mean, I've already seen it. It's had 25 views and 0 thumbs up. Come on, people, what's wrong with you? Let's see. We've got some pre-game chat here. Have we started the game?
In my house where I could keep a board game set up and just leave it there. I couldn't do it.
So yeah, we're just at the start of the jonologue, which is just about where we want to be actually. So that is great. And I need my oh, no, that's not really what I want. What I want is this, and I did not take any notes at all during the last session, and I am terrible. Mr. Badmech, thank you for the host, and good morning to you. Okay, and I'll get rid of that. And okay, last time on Changeling. Oh yeah, that's right. Last week, I made some terrible decisions, and I was not able to complete the recap on my Sunday night before my Monday morning, which is when John does the show. I was up till 3. I did not get it done. No, I wasn't up that late. I can't remember. And so I sent John the background music and the recap in text, and said, "Look, I'm really sorry. Can you? Here it is. Just if you can do it on the night, that would be super. Otherwise, just don't worry about it." And then I managed to. I got up earlier that morning, and I felt very sad that I had disappointed myself and everyone. And I managed to record it and then send it in anyway. So I still have a copy of it. I probably haven't uploaded yet because, again, I'm sort of terrible. But yeah, so that happened, and John did an excellent job with the recap. I want to keep that end there, don't I? I still haven't fixed that quote from weeks ago. It turns out there's a lot of Soul Search. That's why you're bouncing around the walls. It's only a medium coffee. You should be okay. All right, 0 drop frames. I am happy to see. All right, let's get this into full screen mode. Means I'm going to get a little bit. It was a poor decision. And I had left it far too late, and I had life stuff come up. It was International Tabletop Day last Saturday, so I didn't have the time, or rather, I didn't make the time to do the recap last weekend. instead, I went out and played board games with friends of mine. Well, actually, I stayed home and I watched Overwatch, and then I went out and played board games with friends of mine. And that was really the very beginning of the start of the terrible decisions that I made last weekend. Anyway, here we are now. New week, new weekend. New episode of Changeling the Streaming to enjoy. We should probably that thing. I stop that. I want to. Okay, I have to read. There we go. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. So it remembers the last in the properties of this capture box. This capture box. In the properties of this capture box in OBS, it's set to match a specific window. And the window is Chrome, hashtag ChangelingTS day 28 risk YouTube Google Chrome. Except it wasn't set to that. It was set to match hashtag ChangelingTS day 27 dash Spectre Ops dash YouTube dash Google Chrome. And so that's why it was black. It was just a black screen because that window doesn't exist. I don't have it open. But then when I went into the properties, it went, oh. Then it went to the closest match. And then I went out of the properties without applying. It went, oh, it's working now. It just took a while. No. Then it went back to, oh no, you don't want this window after all. It's fine. But I've set it to closest match so that it doesn't capture other Google windows, like my email if I'm alt-tabbing around during the stream, which I sometimes need to do. Soul Search, you absolutely cannot hear anything going on in the background. Absolutely not. It is absolutely not set to 160p with very, very low volume in the background. I wouldn't. You have my full attention. It is actually playing a little bit in the background just so I can farm some tokens while it's going. But nevertheless, here we are. Alright, I'm also meant to be playing a werewolf game right now, and I'm currently leading the votes for getting lynched today, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to be here for the next 4 to 6 hours, so, you know, if you want to lynch me, then go right ahead. I get that I'm a safe lynch for you at least. I'm not going to explode or kill one of you or anything like that. I don't have any information other than what I'm seeing in people votes. It's the first time I've played with this group, and it's the first time I've played a game online, so it's difficult for me, and I get that they don't know me. And there were 3 Australians when we started the game, and both of them died yesterday, and I'm the only one left now. So that seems to be a thing. But anyway, let's get back to this game. I need to point to... I'm actually pointing at my other monitor. The monitor where OBS and chat and Streamlabs and everything is. I need to point at my other monitor so that it looks like I'm pointing at this monitor. This monitor is where Changeling is. This monitor is where I need to point to so it looks like I'm pointing at Changeling. Oh, it's very difficult, everyone. But I want to be watching Changeling while I'm doing it, so... And I need my notes back. Okay. Well, I'm trying to point at the whole thing in general. I can't point past here. Because it's my camera... only extends so far. I'm trapped in a box. Trapped in a box. Let's get going.
So accurate. So accurate.
So we good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching these kitty cats.
Kitty cats. Oh, I didn't increase the speed. Let's kick this up a notch. 1.5.
There was never a place in my house where I could keep a board game set up and just leave it there. I couldn't do it. Whether it was because my mother was just very jealous of her space or not wanting to make things look like they were cluttered, I always had to finish before I was I always had to finish before I walked away. Now, maybe I could at some times scribble down something on a piece of paper to remember where pieces were and what the game state was, because as I've made it clear before, whenever I played a board game as a child, it was always alone and against imaginary opponents. But I always had to make sure that I cleaned up my messes. I don't have to do that anymore. I can just leave things dangling. And I have an implicit promise that I'm going to come by and clean it up afterwards. But I have 3 players who will keep me honest. I have an audience who will keep me honest. But the fact remains that cliffhangers, by their definition, mean that you are leaving things messy for just a little while, with the promise that you're going to clean them up soon. And the question of how messy things are, based on the plan that these 3 players have come up with on their own, we'll see. We'll see what we can come up with.
Nice quote, Methodial.
You folks are currently still in the morgue, as it were, inside a pharmaceutical company. And Kate's giving me an odd salute.
No, just patches her wound. Don't mind me.
Acting.
Just role playing.
Wow.
Trying to think into character.
Damn. I should get in on that.
And the rest of us feel bad.
You're correct. Sorry.
Get my horns.
But you now have the final code to the rocket. You have a dragon in your pocket.
Metaphorically speaking.
No.
All right.
Wait.
They metamorphosized Scythe to be a quarter of the size that she normally is. Because Patches rolled 2 successes on Metamorphosis, which is half size. And then she did it again and got another 2 successes. So it's now a quarter of the size than she normally is. I'm not really sure that even a dragon, a quarter of the size of a dragon, would be small enough to fit in somebody's pocket. I think if they made little one a quarter of the size of little one, then yeah, sure, pocket sized. But Scythe's this fucking big, and she's so big you can't even see how big I'm indicating her to be because my camera doesn't go out that far. Really big. Like the size of my room, it's a pretty big room. It's got really full ceilings and stuff. I don't want to move the camera around at this point because it's sort of annoying to get into place. So even a quarter of the size might still be taller than a human. I'm not sure whose fucking pocket they're fitting this in.
I think I got 2 successes twice, so let me go look that up.
Oh damn. Oh my bad. Because yeah.
Yeah, because she stacked it.
Right.
Half and half. So half of a room, and then half of that.
So she's like the size of a large dog?
Yeah.
All right.
Not quite pocket size.
Yeah, not pocket size. Thank you, Kate.
Good. We got what we came for.
Shall we get out of here?
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need?
A way to burn the spelling to the ground, but probably not.
I don't think that would be necessary. Patches. I know we spoke about it. Possibly. But I don't believe...
Yeah, no, not even Brom's pocket.
For us to take any more drastic action at this time.
You've got more than we hoped, honestly.
There's one more thing I would like to take. Find, retrieve, whatever.
Yes, Brom?
Just from upstairs. I won't be more than a moment.
You'll have someone to go with you.
All right.
We should all go with you.
All right, we'll all go together then. It'll be brief. But we need to... And I look over at Cassandra. That is her real name, Cassie.
No one ever calls her Cassie.
No one calls
She does
her.
not have the face of a Cassie. Her face is Cassandra.
Got it.
Okay.
She's Cassandra.
Would I know that with empathy too? Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Bon.
Yes,
You could
you
call
would.
it Cassie and you would know it probably piss her off.
There's still this question as well, of course.
If you're going to burn this building, are you going to keep me inside?
Cassandra, we are not looking to harm you or anyone. We want all of you to have better lives far away from this company.
You hurt a cop.
Yes, in self-defense. The officer was trying to murder my friend.
Thank you.
But we were never here, Cassandra. We were never here. And you're not sure what happened when you came to. You found yourself in this room.
I'm gonna type in the password that she gave me to the tablet,
Mhm.
and I'm going to see if there's some form of note app that I can write a note in.
Yes.
Great, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give her an email address, like junk garbage email address sort of thing. Write that down. Show it to her. We aren't going to hurt you. Not here, not unless you threaten to hurt us. This is how you can contact us if you have questions about the things you can't see. We can't answer them all. And those answers will not come if you give away the details of everything that just passed.
Yes. Fine. Fine.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Cassandra, and to get to know you under different circumstances today.
You may have just cost me my job.
Yeah, that
It's not really
happens.
such a loss.
Do your kind not have to pay rent?
Cassandra, I think there's so much more you could be doing. Don't you?
Even if you are the first to go, this company will not last. So perhaps, if you are let go, you'll be the first on the market with the same skill set of many others soon to follow.
It worked out okay, Soul Search.
Fine.
Mostly.
I want to extend my hand.
She looks at it, and then she looks up at you, and there's this sort of blank stare. Give me a perception empathy check. Just you. Difficulty 7.
Again?
Insightful?
Yes.
Desires?
No.
No.
Can't double up on 10
That's
anyway,
true,
right?
I
Like,
can't.
Double up.
That's 3 successes.
She's frightened of you.
off the record, I am also frightened of Sophia in this moment. It's like uncomfortable, you know?
Very
That's when the
fair.
Goblin King offers you the hand.
Oh, shit.
I expect to hear great things of you. I know you're capable of it. And one day you'll realize that too.
The drink counter has started.
Just warn me if you're going to burn the building down.
Just gonna smile. Like, I guess Paula Brown's left already.
No, I haven't
sorry.
left yet. We will not allow any harm to come to you, Cassandra.
You're supposed to leave him with the beer. That's not me.
No, I bet that's not... Oh, yeah.
Oh, they've all
Thank you.
promised to not hurt Cassandra.
I'm gonna press the button to close the door, assuming she's still in the room where the dragon was.
No, she's in the morgue is...
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
went
went
right?
upstairs, right?
We can close the door on her there,
Hooray.
but we're leaving.
Ugh. Trying to say promised
leave,
to and
The dragon
promised
turns around
to.
and looks up at
is-
Cassandra and narrows her eyes.
The difference between Australians tend to run our words together a lot. There is a lot of blending of words that are next to each other. It just sort of happens that way. We think slow and we talk fast. The difference between trying to say they promised to not hurt Cassandra and they promised to not hurt Cassandra is having to say promised to. There's that distinct gap between the D at the end of past tense promised. They have made a promise to. Sure. They promised to. They promised to. It's clunky and I hate it. So when I can, I try not to have to make myself say words that have a D at the end of one word and a T at the start of the other one. I don't want the D at the end of that word.
And just, you can feel her draw in breath. And then it's let out with just a...
What are we looking for, Bron?
When we first arrived, we started in the administrative offices upstairs. There were a number of pieces of correspondence from another institution that I didn't recognize. I wanted to keep a copy of something, just to jog my memory at a later date.
Mm-hmm. There's also this other person that we should probably be following up with.
Other person.
This Sandy Lena,
Yes, he's apparently outside.
who's apparently Cassandra's boss. And the one giving the orders.
Well, the organization must have. We're on our way up to the
Yeah,
third
we're
floor.
gonna walk and talk.
The old walk and talk, yes.
So we're Aaron Sorkining it. I'm running backwards with the camera.
And we're going like really
And
fast.
like casually have a dragon. Casual.
No, why are
If
you
you
standing
know-
and running away? Damn it.
Oh, and Zeron's still with us, right?
Oh yes.
He's just chilling. Okay, great.
Also, I think Aragon was actually trying to kill
They're on
him.
live. Yes.
Uh,
Oh, Sandy. Well, the institution must have some sort of director, perhaps. Although there was a suggestion that there were awakened ones here.
Someone had to see the dragon to capture it. So it could have been Talus.
I'm very, very concerned that they're in legal powers.
Why would you believe that?
Because
I don't see the connection.
the mission went bad 10 years ago. Someone was responsible for that information leak, and I don't know what that's about. And
Why
there
Talus
was
is that?
Helena was talking about there being a warlock and a Dantean involved with that mission going wrong, and
Yes.
that would be him.
And not to mention the fact that they seemed to know where Little One was, and they
They
were
knew
able
about
to get
Rick?
into the spark.
Yeah,
incredibly
in chat in the bottom left hand
suppose.
corner, you're
Abruptly, all three of
gallantly
you feel
trying
vibration
to eat
in
pizza, and Aragorn is picking you up and shaking you all
Okay.
over to
Probably not set
help
on
the
vibration.
pizza settle.
I would have fucking
Yeah, you would've done it for me, eh?
Sure.
Your phones now have signal, and each of you are getting like the various notifications that you would, seeing as how you haven't been in your phones
Meghan
in a
Markle
while.
liked your post on Instagram. Oh wow, she's such a dear.
It's the Royals, Joe. It's good.
Thank you.
All right, we're going.
Is there anything of importance in these notifications, John? Emergency text messages.
Anything from Kotha or Claude?
No.
Did you just roll a die to see if there was anything?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dear God.
But the signal seems to be reestablished, like strongly, John, or like, well, I guess
You have normal cell signal.
Well, don't know if that's good or bad, but let's hurry.
Yes, I'm really unsure what the purpose of shutting down our communications would be, if that is indeed what happened. Perhaps it was just a fluke.
Doubtful.
Too much of a coincidence.
Let's go.
We're on our way,
I'm gonna send off a quick text, I think, to Kyoko and Claude.
Yeah.
To make sure that everything's okay.
and that we're almost out.
Yeah, and that we're still alive.
Mhm.
That's fine.
So, John, I'm heading back up to the admin offices that we kind of blew through earlier.
Mhm.
There were a number of pieces of correspondence from
Hmm.
some sort of company that had a certain logo, as mentioned in the recap.
A P with a diamond behind it.
Yeah, I want to try to find something with the
Yeah.
correspondence. Maybe from a recycling bin, something that looks like. Actually, maybe they shred all their stuff. I don't know. But I'm taking something that looks like it's not going to be missed.
And then Patches is like, camera phone, camera phone.
Oh,
Camera phone,
yes.
All right.
Camera phone. We good? Anything else you want pictures of?
Nope. So no, definitely not. No, that's fine. Thank you, Patches.
The less that they know we've seen or taken, the better. Since they can't see what we've taken.
Well, not everyone.
Here, I head back upstairs.
I'll be looking into this myself. I'm curious.
I can't even remember what the drink
Something else.
counter was for.
All right, we have what we need. Lady Sophia, Patches. So Zeron?
I suddenly feel very cold.
That's
All
not
right,
bad.
it was when they
That's
referred to
What is it?
was when
So is
when
that
they
a
mentioned
premonition?
the PC's names.
Yes. And yes. All of you.
Yeah?
Suck banality.
Oh. How much? Oh, just one. Yeah.
My body.
How much, he says.
Uh,
Yeah.
Finality.
I can't.
Good news, I can't proof the table. Bad news.
The
she's
players
definitely
can't see that
Yeah.
immaculate piece of
so we haven't done
animation.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
At
we're
the
gonna,
front door?
yes, we're going to make sure we have our hazmat suits back on for the rest of the
You get a message, Sophia.
I'm checking it.
It's from Kyoko's phone. Cell dampening has ceased. They can detect you. Find another exit.
Okay. I thought the whole point. So I guess
Time
we're
to
covered
run.
now. I guess if SWAT showed up, tried to attack us. I would have seen the blueprints. So where's the back door?
Wait, did they get a thing with the P and the diamond?
So
Seen or taken, the better.
I was
unsure
talking about something
what the
else
purpose of shutting down our communications would be.
at the time.
your phones now have signal. And
Mission went bad 10 years ago. Someone was responsible for that information leak, and I don't know what that's about. And
I may have jumped back too far.
and
just
there
now.
was Helena was talking about there being a warlock and a Dantean involved with that mission going wrong, and
Yes.
that would be him.
And not to mention the fact that they seemed to know where Little One was, and they
They
were
knew
able
about
to get
Rick.
into the spark incredibly easily.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Abruptly, all three of you feel vibration in your pants.
I think
Oh,
my
my
phone's
phone?
probably not set on vibrate. No.
I would have fucking
Yeah, you would have done it for me,
double
eh?
sure.
Your phones now have signal, and each of you are getting like the various notifications that you would, seeing as how you haven't been in your phones
Meghan
in a
Markle
while.
liked your post on Instagram. Oh, wow, she's such a dear.
It's the Royals, Joe. That's good.
Thank you.
All right. We're going.
Is there anything of importance in these notifications, John? Emergency text messages.
Anything from Kyoko or Claude?
No.
Did you just roll a die to see if there was anything?
Yes.
Dear God.
But the signal seems to be reestablished, like strongly, John, or like, well, I guess it's
You have normal cell signal.
Oh, don't know if that's good or bad, but let's hurry.
Yes, I'm really unsure what the purpose of shutting down our communications would be, if that is indeed what happened. Perhaps it was just a fluke.
Doubtful.
Too much of a coincidence.
Let's go.
We're on our way.
I'm gonna send off a quick text, I think, to Kyoko and Claude.
Yeah.
To make sure that everything's okay.
And that we're almost out.
And that we're still alive. That's fine.
So, John, I'm heading back up to the admin offices that we kind of blew through earlier.
Mhm.
There were a number of pieces of correspondence from
Mm.
some sort of company that had a certain logo, as mentioned in the recap.
A P with a diamond behind it.
Yeah, I want to try to find something with the correspondence, maybe from a recycling bin, something that looks like... Actually, maybe they shred all their stuff. I don't know. But I'm taking something that looks like it's not going to be missed.
And then Patches is like, camera phone, camera phone.
Oh,
camera phone,
yeah.
All right.
Camera phone, we good? Anything else you want pictures of?
Nope. So no, definitely not. No, that's fine. Thank you, Patches.
The less that they know we've seen or taken, the better. Since they can't see what we've taken.
Well, not everyone. All right. I'll be looking into this myself. I'm curious. Anyway, that's something else. All right, we have what we need. Thank you, Sophia. Patches. So Zeron?
I suddenly feel very cold.
Did I miss it again?
Thank you, Sophia. Patches. So Zeron?
Since they can't see what we've taken.
So no, definitely not. No, that's fine. Thank you, Patches.
The less that they
Yeah.
know we've seen or taken, the better. Since they can't see what we've taken.
Well, not everyone. All right.
They took a photo of it
looking into
instead
this
of
myself,
taking
I'm
a copy of it. All right.
Curious. Anyway, that's something else. All right, we have what we need. Thank you, Sophia. Patches. So Zeron?
I suddenly feel very cold.
That's not very good. We should get
No.
out of here.
What is it? So Zeron, a premonition?
Yes. Yes. All of you.
Yeah?
Suck banality.
Oh. How much? Oh,
Oh no!
My body.
How much, he says. Yeah.
Banality.
I can't.
Good news, I kept her today. But bad news.
I should have
she's
tried
definitely haunted.
Yeah.
drink +2.
Right.
So we're heading down now.
Yeah.
We're
Out the
gonna-
front door?
Yes, we're going to make sure we have our hazmat suits back on. For those who want.
You get a message, Sophia,
I'm checking it.
from Kyoko's phone. Cell dampening has ceased. They can detect you. Find another exit.
We need to
Okay.
find another way
I thought the whole
out.
point. So I guess our cover is blown. I guess it's SWAT showed up. Tried to attack us. I would have seen the blueprints. So where's the back door?
Makes sense.
Up roof.
To the roof.
So, Brom, you know,
Oh boy.
and remember, Patches, you've seen on the blueprints that there's 2 main exits to the building. There are a few emergency exits, and there's a door from the roof.
I'm thinking the door from the roof sounds pretty freaking cool.
Yep. Let's go.
Is that how
Well,
they
So
got there
there's-
last
well, it's
time?
possible they've called in helicopters.
And it looks like Cats just took out the players.
Yeah,
Seriously?
cats.
Like, at this point in time, this is what happens?
Yeah, Salsage, I had the
Oh,
same
the message
problem
saying
with
what
this
happened.
week just flying by and me not applying for any
Cat
jobs or
stepped on a
really
power
doing
bar.
anything with my life.
Hey, everybody. So if you have questions, now's the time for me.
I spent a
will
lot of
answer
time
any
going to
questions
bed
you have
early and
that the
watching
players can't
Stargate
see,
Atlantis.
but we'll let the players get back up. That'll only take a couple of minutes.
I had a
but-
bad week.
Hi, Onik. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm right here. The game is not 15 minutes in, but you know, we try. They're on their way in. I cat-proofed the table. Well, yeah. 2.5 pieces. All right, Soul Search. How am I? I am on the edge of my seat to see if Amber is going to succeed at her pizza challenge. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for dinner.
We have blue faces.
And we are reestablished.
They sure
You're
do.
gonna have to fix your camera. You may also want to tilt the camera slightly up. And are you zoomed in at all?
It probably
That's
reset to 0.
You just tilted the camera down. I need it up.
Oh,
Hey, a little further down.
You
Split
had
the
set
difference.
it down. So that's good.
Yep.
Sorry, do you want to sit down? Okay, you can grab the time controls then.
Good old cats.
Not that close.
I have a deck box here, and it's got an image. A bunch of LARP's history was actually tied to this place.
We have the same settings. Like we have the same.
Oh, you're zoomed out. And it doesn't exist anymore. And it just reminded me to help support your local friendly local game store, especially if it's also a cafe.
Yes.
Was that from?
So we
Chimera,
haven't
yeah.
zoomed in at
Is that
all. Like we've made sure that we're completely zoomed out.
No, you're fine now.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no pizza for me
Yeah, we
today
can
either
totally
after I went out
before
last
we
night.
uploaded.
No, that's how it was.
And I had a couple of
Rocky,
beers,
you
and
remember the
I
moment
got
that I'm
a couple of.
remembering, which
I
is
didn't have to pay
the
for
very first
beer, which was
episode,
nice.
when the cat knocked the
Um,
camera and it like fell all.
I had
like,
a
the
couple of
pitch
beers
all
as
the way
a
down.
work catch up for an ex-colleague of ours who
FLGS, a friendly local gaming store.
died recently.
Okay, Soul Search. As much
He
as
was
you're
out
eating all the
swimming and
pizza,
got
if
caught
you
in a
don't eat all the pizza, you
riptide.
could have another breakfast pizza, which is best pizza.
And they got a rescue helicopter out, and it was too late. And he just fucking died. And yeah, huge fucking shock. So we a bunch of us caught up in town yesterday, and we had a couple of drinks and a catch up and some chats and stuff. But yeah. So there were a couple of pints slung my way, which I was like, I'm quite happy with a pot of something, and I got a couple of pints after that, and it's like, oh man, I do not drink this much. I do not like to drink this much. This is me after fucking last Sunday. But yeah, and then I got some hot jam donuts on the way home, which was just making issues worse, really. I know Soul Search. It was. I mean, I haven't worked with him in 15 months. But yeah, he was a really good guy. It was. Yeah, it's just a real fucking shame. It's a literal tragedy. He was just he was out with a friend, just on the beach, just going for a swim, and caught in a riptide and pulled out to sea, and yeah, fucking that will fucking end you. And yeah, it doesn't happen a lot, but it really does happen. I've been caught in a riptide once, but thankfully I had people around with me that was like, no, you've got to do it this way, and helped me swim out of it and stuff like that. And it was like, fuck. I don't go swimming a lot. And yeah, and that was when I was a kid. So there were people there, who knew about it and who were watching out, who know to watch out for people and stuff like that. But yeah, no, that was that was a real fucking shock when I heard. And yeah, no, he was a good bloke. Very switched on, very friendly. He was overseas for a trip, and he came back, and he gave me a phone case for my phone, not the phone that I have now, but the phone I used to have. And said, "Oh, I got this for you," and I'm like, "Thank you so much." was just completely out of the blue, and so nice of him. But yeah. Anyway, we were watching the game. Our players are back. They're heading up into the roof.
Pizza is pretty good pizza.
Thank you, Dev.
Breakfast
Hey.
pizza is not best pizza. It is second
Second
best
best pizza.
With lunch day after pizza being like definitely like a distant third.
Scott, are you able to scooch in anymore? Because that was one thing I noticed before we cut out.
Best pizza is hot, straight out of the oven.
Yay.
You ready?
Hot, fresh, straight out of the oven. That is best
That's what
pizza.
Rosen was saying.
You're on your way to the roof.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you just start putting up the elevator, and then when you're on the top floor, you find the stairs and the maintenance shaft that will head up towards the roof itself. And when you get there, the first thing you notice, Brom, is that the lock for this roof clearly has not been installed properly. It looks like it's a jury-rigged setup.
That's odd. Isn't it like the lock from the inside? Was it like just like thrown on as an afterthought? It's weird.
Because you weren't supposed to lock the fire escape.
Oh yeah, truth. Kate knows what's up.
I'm just going to pause for a little bit while that's what I'm looking for. Okay, it's not changing the thing. Okay, good. I'm just going to look up. Yeah. There we go. Just looking up how to spell the word skedaddle. Because I needed to use the word skedaddle briefly. Which is a thing. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. Okay.
First
Anyway,
it's not the roof.
Skedaddle.
Well, actually,
Skedaddle's a word. It's not a word I... That's exactly it, Soul Search. Skedaddle.
Can I attempt to just...
Yeah, it opens. It's not locked.
Oh, okay, totally, great. All right, let's keep our heads down and see what's out there. I'm going to peek out first, John, just to make sure there's nobody out there right now with my big blue head.
So when you poke your head out, people are just milling around. There doesn't seem to be anything major. But one thing that is important to note is that a lot of people are checking their phones right now. There is no police presence.
Really? No vehicles, no nothing?
No large vehicles that could contain a
What,
bunch
the
of
people on the
spotlights all
roof?
over the place.
The three of them might have
Or
gone
over
off, I
the
guess?
side of the building.
Yeah. All right. How down?
How far away is Claude parked, Mr. John? He drove us into...
Claude is
yeah?
parked relatively close to the entrance.
Okay.
Meet us round back?
I was going to start, like, flashing a flashlight at him. It's not necessary. Send some text.
Like-
Just start building a fire and send some smoke signals.
Smoke signals, yeah. Some pigeons.
I just feel like how are we going to be, close the loose end of there's been a council spill we went in to investigate it. If the van's fine, why can't we go out the front door?
They have machines that might be able to read us as Cathane as we walk out.
Oh,
In this, like, detectable, I think is the...
that
Yep.
makes sense.
Oh, boy. Well, I'll shoot a text to Claude, then at that point...
Ask me to drive around for that.
Yeah, can you see us up on the roof? We need extraction. Can you drive around back?
As you text him while you're peeking out, you can see that there's a short SWAT man wearing a coat and a hard hat talking to some people outside the building, who reaches down, checks his phone, puts it down, and then just starts waving his hands and making some loud noises that you can barely make out. They back off and he turns and he walks back to the truck, slams the door, and then just starts peeling around to the other side of the building.
Perfect. I cannot wait to hear how he played that one off. So I guess now that we know that there's kind of no one else out here on the roof at this moment anyway that I can see, I just want to take stock. John, it's a 3-story building, I think.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be... is there a ladder down on one side?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I mean, I have an idea.
Sure, you have an idea. I have an idea.
Probably have a better idea.
I don't know.
Why don't you let me jump down? I'll die, but you can land on my corpse, and...
Oh, we should surf you down.
It's made of rock. It probably
That
will
works
hurt.
for one person. No, in a past life.
Oh, yeah.
Which one of us has the most padding?
You're bigger.
Sir Zeron.
Oh.
Sir Zeron's got all... Never mind. You know
What?
what? Look. I mean, I could slow our descent down the side of the building, but I still feel that that's dangerous.
Dangerous.
I didn't bring this much rope.
I could imbue us with the element of air and float us down.
That sounds like an answer.
That does sound better than...
Featherfall?
I have... You know that I can.
You can.
Are you feeling all right, Sir Zeron?
No,
You
but
can.
I can get us down there.
No, what are you talking about? Sir Zeron, I can do this quite easily and I think quite safely.
We need to share the burden of this mission. Sir Zeron, do not take it all upon yourself. You've done more than
You've
enough,
already
sir.
done so much.
I can hopscotch us down. I'm just tired.
Hopscotch?
Let's let Sophia do it. We may need your abilities afterwards. We aren't out of the woods yet. he take any damage while we were in there?
No, he's an Arcadian she. He's taking twice as much banality as you are.
I assumed it was banality, but that explains it.
Okay, everybody, hold hands to the edge of the building.
To the
When I count
edge,
to
to
three,
the edge.
jump up and down 5 times. Okay? 1.
Are you sure you don't want me?
Are you sure?
Actually, that
you
works
can? Are you sure you can? You seem rather injured. No judgment of your normal abilities, but this isn't a normal time.
Fair.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, and then I cast. That was my bunk. Patches come back. Oh no, we're already over the Oh god. I want to cast Elder Form and Scene to hopefully get everyone. And on the 5th hop, I want to say Incisor's name so that I can use willpower and not kill us all. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Incisor! Yay!
What?
Okie doke, here we go. Ahem.
Okay. For some reason, I thought the voice belonged to Talus, and I was like, well,
Whoa.
yeah, I know. I was like,
assumed it was
oh,
that.
well, that's the right choice. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Okay. So that would be. And then depending on what my bunk is, or what my bunk was deemed to be.
Well, you're no longer inside the building.
Right.
Ooh.
Banality is not going to affect your difficulty at this point. Your difficulty is currently
Oh.
5.
So- Perfect. Because my favored thing is Fae. Excellent. And I'm spending a point of willpower.
Yay,
I can.
willpower.
We don't go splat.
So we don't go kersplat.
If only I had the rights to I believe I could fly.
Has 2 successes. So it lasts for
10 minutes.
5
minutes.
5 minutes.
20 seconds.
All right.
20
And your
seconds would
effect
be enough to
is
get down.
We are all imbued with the element air, which allows us to float and become invisible for 5 minutes. So we're going. Oh,
All right. Well, all of you become imbued
Oh.
with the element of air. Patches, as this is happening to you, you feel your containment unit starting to slip out of your hands. It's not
Oh, balls. Sorry about that.
I'm gonna hold on to it, like with all of my everything.
Make a
And
strength
then-
check.
Invisible.
Actually, what
Yeah.
what is whoop?
it starts to sink down onto the ground. You're not substantial enough to hold it.
Like you're invisible, right? Like you're.
Where like that it's falling down onto the ground?
Just onto like it's floating down. You're still made of wind. It's just wind isn't enough to keep it up.
What
And
about
by
on
the ground, your other things are fine. By the ground, I mean the top of the roof.
Yeah, then I'm staying with it.
You can
Can't
try
do
to
it.
like guide it over the edge as
Yeah,
you
I
go.
mean, I'm going to, but like
All right. Well, that's going to be a wits athletics roll, please. That's
Oh,
difficulty 8.
Wits.
Whoa.
Athletics.
Wait, you're trying to guide it where?
She's trying to guide the box down with her
Oh.
as you drift off the edge.
Sorry, I didn't think this one.
Shove it down the stairwell.
Well, you wouldn't know that it
difficulty
wouldn't be
8,
affected
I'm
by the
spending
cantrip.
willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Wow, 1s and 0s and 1s and 8s, so I only have the 1 success from my
Willpower.
willpower. Wow.
So
What a roll.
you
2 1s?
manage to, you think you're holding on to it, but then as you're about halfway down, it starts to slip and slip and slip, and it goes, and then a metallic punk as it lands on the roof of the van.
Yeah, close enough.
Claude sticks his head out from the side. It's just like,
Got it down.
Well, can we like accelerate our process at all?
Yeah,
like,
I don't
wanna-
know. I don't know how
float down as
quickly this
fast as I
moves.
can. I want to be a gust of wind falling, but
Well,
this is
Brom, do
my-
your fart
can't-
charm and bring us down.
Fuck's sake. No.
so
You.
you manage to make it down. Claude has gotten out of the truck and or the van and has picked up the unit and is turning it in his hands, not quite knowing what it is.
Don't touch it.
You can enter the van,
Or we're down there.
even though you're,
Immaterial.
I'm gonna try to talk once I'm near him. Claude, that's consider it an active bomb. Be really gentle with it.
It's an active bomb. Be gentle with it.
So, I was talking to Gailey when I was like this. I think you're good.
So what should I do with it? Should I throw it out or?
No, keep it.
No,
It's got
I
the
wouldn't
wrong
do that either.
So I leave.
Kyoko's inside.
Roll call. Patches.
Kyoko is waiting at the Tim Hortons about 5 minutes away.
Roll
Someone's one
call.
drink.
Patches here.
Brom.
Two
Sophia.
drinks. Four
Patches
drinks.
Yes,
there. Zeron?
I'm here.
Am I forgetting anyone?
No.
Timmy,
Right, let's roll.
Timmy. Oh, I have to leave him behind. We always leave him behind.
Look, that little shit can just get his stuff together.
Oh my
Stop
God.
leaving me. Sorry. All right.
That was the
And you peel
biggest clue about what the drink counter was for, and they were close to guessing it.
Oh, did you tell them that everything was clear?
I told them it was a hoax.
They didn't.
That works.
Kyoko managed to take care of the police trouble. They were going to believe that they were also called in as a hoax.
Cool.
I realize we've left our equipment out there, but
What, the containment tent? They can
yes.
have it. Pretty cheap off Amazon. But I figured out what could be used as a movie prop, not actually real containment.
We did it.
Let's not pat ourselves on the back yet.
Still, we did it.
Sophia, you're now no longer under the influence of any kind of mind-altering
Substance.
magic.
I feel happy. I feel happy.
I feel fine. I
We
feel
got what we came
happy.
for, and there was some trouble, but we handled it.
You'd best drive.
Won't last long. We best get
Yeah,
back.
Rocky's got it.
Claude, we need to pick up Kyoko as quickly as possible and get back to the spark.
Oh no, I thought I would leave her there. You know, it's she can enjoy a double-double the way that she wants, and
Claude, we don't have time for jokes.
I mean, she's probably not actually drinking a double-double.
there's only so quickly that I can drive without attracting attention, Brom. I understand that you don't understand levity the way that we do, but it's not as if I can accelerate us that quickly.
Move, I'll do it. Just kidding. I'm not doing
Patches, how are you feeling?
Fine.
You actually fine, or are you Patches fine?
Well, I'm always Patches, so I guess I'm Patches fine.
Okay, then I will be taking a look at that bullet wound in your shoulder, please.
I got, like, vaguely grazed or something.
Yeah,
Like, I'm only bruised. No, this is my old scar.
Oh, cool. Then I'll be taking a look at that scar that
No,
you
you
keep
won't.
touching. Yes, I will be.
I'm in my fucking hazmat suit. How are you getting
Take
in
it
my
off,
hazmat suit?
bitch.
No, it's okay. If you want to take off your clothes in the van,
Patches, you're in. Oh, come on.
Am I still?
For the next 2.5 minutes.
How can you see her?
Because I cast the spell.
No, you can't see shit, girl. I'm either visible or invisible.
It's like that Batman episode where they're all invisible and then they turn off the lights so they can
See, all I
fight.
did, I brought you all
It's
to the
ridiculous.
Sophia plane. That's it.
Ah,
So I can see
so
everyone
I'm
else.
super fabulous.
Yes.
Claude, so Zeron, thank you so much for your service today as well.
still breathing, my friend. That's all that mattered.
Indeed.
Remaining still breathing
When the
is
truck
very
pulls by
important.
the Tim Hortons, you can see that Kyoko's ears are still jammed flat against the back of her head as a cap is pulled very low over her eyes, and her tool belt is rustling as she walks out, opens the van, jumps in, and just looks around. There's no one here.
We're invisible. Hi.
Hi, Kyoko.
Oh, am I inside you then?
No.
Am I inside you?
No one is inside of anyone at the moment. We're all in the van, ready to head back to the Spark. We have some precious cargo to escort there.
Patches is like,
Oh, the worst. Sorry.
Am I inside you then?
So I should keep my
Not
hands to myself.
Yet.
probably. You don't want to punch our new dragon friend by accident.
Claude continues to drive.
Lady Kyoko, everything went well on your end. Thank you again for your service.
I did my best to jam the cell signals so that they wouldn't discover your true nature.
Oh, that makes sense.
Much appreciated.
It seems to have worked. And when it went down, we were able to get out without any other trouble, so...
I'm sorry, Sophia, your friend is fired.
I think it'll be better for him.
You can go into geology.
Oh yeah,
Looking
James
over there.
Tugger is probably fired.
Your invisibility wears off.
Ron's been holding his breath this whole time, so he's like, finally.
That's like second on my actor's wish list. The like finally emerging from a thing and taking that gas of air. It's second only to the waking up after a really bad dream.
Oh, Soul Search. I'm sorry to hear
Nailed
that.
it. All right, let's write it. Here we go. What was I going to say here? Yeah. Lady Kyoko, just to catch you up on the events of the mission, we were able to obtain the code to the rocket, as well as the rocket itself, and little one's mother.
This is Scythe. Scythe, this is Kyoko, and driving is Claude.
They've all taken turns taking care of your daughter. She's a bit more self-sufficient now, but when we first met her, she still needed feeding.
Does she fly?
She's starting to.
She's learning. She's remarkable. I think you'll be very proud of her.
She's definitely got the ice part down pat.
I also don't want to concern you, but she showed much bravery when she was attacked by some men from this company.
That's a great
She was
plan,
injured,
Soul
but not
Search.
severely.
They came for her too.
I think
Exactly.
they didn't know she was there. I think
I mean, but getting sick on vacation is the
unfortunate.
worst thing ever.
them.
still want to destroy that facility, but there's a preference for reducing the loss of life. Not everyone that's that works there knows what's going on. Most of them don't, I don't
Seems
think.
very clear that most of them don't.
Yeah.
The one we thought was their ringleader doesn't seem to know.
Where are you taking me?
To our freehold, that's where your daughter is, and that's the safest place we have. We have a large exterior garden that you should be able to fit in and hopefully find some comfort in.
I'll get you next time, Amphit Farmer.
Side, how long have you been in captivity? Can you remember?
About 1 year.
Oh,
In that time-
yay.
They were taking readings of you. Do you remember anyone in particular coming to visit who may have been able to see you, speak to you?
How did they capture you in the first place? If you're willing to tell us.
Oh,
The more we
okay.
know, the better we're able to act when we are ready to take them down. The sooner we'll be ready to take them down.
I was delivered. I destroyed the shackles and chains, but my spirit was not strong enough for this. For her. Captured by one of your own.
Do you remember what they looked like?
No.
Nothing at all? Not even a
They
small
sounded like?
detail?
Male. About as tall as you.
I'm guessing
No,
not.
Sophia.
No.
You were taken from your home?
For that,
Did you-
for the record, by the way, that doesn't eliminate Talus from consideration. He's about Sophia's height.
Yeah, I mean,
Who else would that keep in consideration that we have met?
Male and in that height, Zeron.
Uh-huh.
Um,
The man in the mask? Because you face off with him, so you
Yeah.
know how tall he was.
yeah, Man in the Mask would be about your height. Zeron, Zisser would not. He's
Mhm.
short, like
Yeah.
Patches. Granville is approximately your height.
Cool. Yeah.
Pork is not.
I mean, like in my mind, everyone's either a boggin clericon or
Troll.
It's like a
Knocker,
short,
or
medium,
troll,
super
Yeah.
tall.
or everybody else.
Yeah. Hello!
Kenwin! Ah! Kenwin!
Jackie!
Jackie!
That's not.
Kenwin would be the right height.
So this man succeeded in capturing you and delivered you to that place
Yes.
1 year ago.
I was south of here.
Ah, Soulsage, that sucks.
In which kingdom?
Somewhere warm.
Yes.
Can you get your day back on again? I mean, it's in September, right?
Just
You
went to
should be
search
able
for
to
you in the kingdom of
cancel that and move it to
Willows,
December.
If I am not mistaken.
Although you probably won't be able to get the day off in December
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everyone
Insert
wants
for
days off
working
in
here, please.
December.
Kingdom of Swamps.
There were lots of them, and I was like,
New Orleans
"Where's
would be located in the Kingdom of Willows.
Nailed it. I have green hair.
Then he recovered her.
He seems to have. Yep, she was hurt when we first met her, but she was being taken care of.
He is a friend.
I would say so. He is our host. That is his freehold we're traveling to.
I will be glad to see him again.
Besides, I don't know what happened all those years ago. Seem to have lost some of my memories of the time. But how I ended up putting this device into your body, I don't know and I don't remember. But I must ask for your forgiveness.
I know too what shame feels. Give me your paw.
Yeah, extend my hand. An eye for an eye.
And Scythe reaches out and takes Brum's hand in Scythe's kind of comically small hand at the moment. And holds it tight, and then you can remember just flashes of you kneeling in a pond. The water only coming up about halfway up your thigh, even while kneeling. And you holding this device up in both hands. And a magnificent looking dragon. Almost imperial looking. Gazing down at you and nodding solemnly.
You told me you carried 10 lives. And asked me to hold them until you returned.
You have upheld your end of the bargain. You are honorable, and we intend to return those lives to the people from which they were taken.
I know shame, troll, but I also know honor.
And with a small cough, a single sort of wisp of ice just pulls up into the air around you. And it crystallizes into a very small, almost diamond-like
Oh, you can
stone.
take a week off?
Based on what I know about dragon culture and chimera, would this be an offering of some kind, or do I recognize this?
Yeah, an offering would be appropriate. I mean, it's made of ice. It won't last.
Right. Yeah, okay.
It's just a pretty thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan, Soul Search.
Why do you risk so much?
I'm not sure I understand the question. We do...
I am one.
You are the mother of the dragon that we have gotten to know. Knowing that you might have been there, we had reason to go in anyway. We wanted to better learn how to take them down. They're attacking our kind, and you had the device inside of you, and the device, if they had gotten it out of you, I don't doubt that they would have set it off again, and war would have been lost. There were many reasons. It wasn't just for you.
Ugh.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Size
that's terrible.
held within you 10 lives, and you represent part of something beautiful. We risk everything because we believe in it.
Gen Con's
We
the
believe in the beauty of
Thursday as
dreaming
well,
and of
right?
Yourself.
Oh, that's a roll for me. Hold on.
All right, okay. The dragon flies into a rage at the mention of...
And kills
Wait, what?
Rom, where he stands.
Dragon
She
fly!
senses your motives and
But it
finds out
depends
whether
on
everyone
when
does
you've
believe in
got
the dream.
tickets for Gen Con as well.
Oh.
Nice roll.
You did this with no expectation of reward.
Certainly didn't.
We...
The reward is having gotten the device, having saved you, having gotten all of us out.
And
before
what
a
are you
lot of
planning
my
on
harm.
doing for the
You were
Monday,
lost 10 years
Tuesday,
ago. That is a
Wednesday?
cost that is far too dear. That is a reward.
I appreciate that, Patches. You didn't even...
You'd be better off taking the
you.
week after
And others
Montreal
of you,
Comic Con.
and to others. I've met them through your memories.
2 were lost 10 years ago,
You have, haven't you?
Yeah, I can walk through your memories, and it really did a number of Patches mentality.
and 11 were saved today.
Started with 1.
You.
Or the week before, I
The dragon turns her head towards Sophia.
You, who has stepped in front of me. You carry no weapon.
I carry no blade. I carry no gun.
Oh, you know Kung Fu. Okay,
Yes.
that's cool. Sweet. Show me a sick kickflip.
Scythe for Prez.
I do. Oh.
I don't, no. Dex Brawl, I guess.
What, a kickflip? No, that'd be athletics. That's a skateboarding move.
Sweet.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, I thought that Kung Fu... Yeah,
I have
no.
athletics too.
That's
It's
good.
like
You
a
can do it.
two-leg kick. Yeah.
But you do this.
I do.
Is danger something you fear?
I see nothing more dangerous than the possibility that the dreaming could be lost, could be eradicated, or could be twisted by those who are driven by ignorance. So whether or not I'm equipped, I will fight.
Take me to sister, and we will speak soon. Take me to Sister Flex.
You're on our way.
Yeah, that's they're not very flexible with their staffing.
My wings will not support me.
Give them time. They will.
Perhaps my shame takes a price.
I believe that shame can be overcome by our present actions.
I don't know what I have done to deserve nobility surrounding me, and beauty, and strength.
Right place, right time.
Besides, we didn't mean to all end up together like this. But it happens.
I think it's a good outcome.
I'm grateful for it.
You are tied now,
We are.
inextricably, but perhaps as you always were.
The van slows to a stop. You're now outside Westmount Square.
Yay, Westmount Square.
I think it would be nice, Sophia, if we had, but I have no remembrance of it. We need to make our own lives in the present.
Hazmat suits off. Leave him in the van.
Whoosh.
I can feel your magics pulling away from me. You must hurry.
Yep.
So we're...
She just expands in the elevator, crushing all of you to death.
Oh, that really super sucks.
the head, like, poking out the top of the elevator. Yeah, we are rushing up to the spark.
Get her out into the garden.
The elevator tarries.
Ugh.
At least the lobby is sort of big enough for her.
Brom, what are you doing here? Seriously, like, you don't... Like, I get it, but, like, your office is empty? Like, why are you here, man? You're better than this place.
I'm not so sure I am. Also, more to the point, my
That's so
friend-
sad.
I'm sorry?
That's so sad that you don't feel like you're better than this place. You're better than this place, man. You're free.
Free.
Maybe I came to visit you. To wish you a happy Saturday?
What? It's Monday.
Okie dokie.
It's Monday.
It is.
It's
I'm the one who's cleaning
absolutely
the toilets
Monday.
now, you know.
I always felt it was a sort of game, a challenge, if you will, something to be conquered. Do you ever feel that way?
No, it's a toilet. It's full of shit. It really sucks.
It sure
Imagination,
is.
my friend. It will take you places. Trust me.
Will it take me away from shitty toilets?
I mean, probably not.
Ding! And then the elevator opens up.
Here we go.
Perhaps you
Scotchy,
could
scotchy.
find me a job sometime. We'll speak. Oh, all right. I'll later.
When the door opens up, each of you steps out, and there's a table next to the bar, a very small side table that isn't normally there, and sitting on that table is a Black Forest cake with a single candle on it that's lit. But the candle is gone down to about this high now.
Clive, would you like to blow out that candle? I'd call it a welcome home. Now let's get you out to the garden.
Perhaps down to the. Nope, never mind.
Garden.
I was going to say fire. Yeah, no, you're right.
When you head out into the garden, Rika pokes his head up,
Oh.
and the griffin just sort of rolls his shoulders and tilts his head.
5,
Recap.
Rika, you're both guests here. I don't know if you've met, but hopefully...
Kate, all Chimera don't know each other.
Wow.
not what I'm fucking implying. But you are guests, and so at least on our premises, we require you to behave amicably.
I have nothing but respect for the noble griffin.
Oh, that's very kind of you. You're quite small for it. And then... Oh. And the dragon, who is much larger than Rika, and who now is sort of half in the pool and has to sort of step out of that. Oh my. She is definitely, like, the copper across her is iridescent at this point, where it was dull down in the bowels of... Oh, Saxon. Down in the bowels of the pharmaceutical company.
Marnie's
Her
going to be
wings
pretty
are still
pissed.
just completely shredded.
May I ask for 2 favors I perhaps do not deserve?
Absolutely, ask away.
I would like to see my daughter and sister.
Of course, we'll go get them.
Perhaps in that order.
We're together.
Perhaps in that order.
Okay, head back inside.
Patches, wait.
Are you coming
Yes.
back, or
I mean,
is
this
everyone else leaving, or is it... Or do you wait?
No, I'm going to keep going. I'll keep going towards the elevator.
Do not tell the others. But there is a scale loose by my left flank.
Oh no.
Take it.
Thank you.
I want you to sew it back on. What the fuck are you replying? Damn it.
You may tell them later, it's just... Shedding is embarrassing.
Let me help you with this then. I'm gonna go and 1, 2, 3.
It comes away easily.
Yeah.
You're now holding one of the more valuable working materials It's about the size. You figure you could make at max a breastplate out of it. It's a big scale.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. I don't know, I'm gonna secret this away, but
How?
storage shed on the
Right
Throw it
behind
in the pool.
with all the fucking risers and
Oh, yeah.
platforms from penance.
Oh yeah, we
Um,
recycle our wood.
You are not Red Branch.
I am not.
Why? Why do you come for me?
I come for you because I first came here because Zister was here because he has an amazing workshop, and that is what draws my interest. Unfortunately, Zister has gotten into a lot of trouble, and so I've gotten mixed up in that as well. You're now mixed up in all of that, too.
It is said that greatness attracts danger. He is a great man,
No shortage of danger here.
and I see you are great as well. I can smell her on you.
And as if she lifts one and then hesitates, and then she wraps her talons, which are large enough, just the talons themselves, around Patch's back, and then pulls her close to her chest. And you can hear and feel this massive pounding of her heart inside. It's not
Massive
like,
pounding.
but like just
Hashtag massive pounding.
That's whales and shit.
Yeah,
You know that scene in Jurassic Park where she's like,
Yeah.
flying off a
Yeah.
triceratops? It is a triceratops, right?
I think so, yeah.
yes.
Oh, it's Tam. It's Samuel. Sorry.
Yeah.
She picks up the poop.
Never mind.
Okay.
I do not know what dreams exist that I deserve you.
Don't put me on too high a pedestal. I'll only disappoint.
And then she rakes her claws across you
Oh,
and splits you in seven.
Yay!
Let's see if you taste good.
no.
And I'll do a kickflip.
4 patches.
No, I can't do a kickflip.
Watch.
For the watch.
All your life, Patches, there are those who will try to take your accomplishments. Do not take them from yourself.
We successfully accomplished our mission with minimal, surprisingly, marvelously minimal cost. That is a success.
No. Success will be in the eyes of
Soul Search, you got 2 letters from
Yes.
Kat. That's amazing.
Won't be long now.
Prom, Sophia?
Heading towards the elevator to the workshop /
Um,
dungeon.
I wanted to take Kyoko aside briefly just to check in with her. But then I would be heading downstairs.
Soul Search,
She since pulled off
Gen
the hat.
Con, from what I know, I haven't been to Gen
Actually,
Con myself,
Leave it on.
but they typically
Just kidding.
sell out of
We're all on the
tickets
same page here, right?
super fast. If you
Yeah.
don't have Gen
Maybe I
Con
just wanted
tickets
to be sure.
already,
I know you
you
venture into the
might
facility at all,
not
but
be able to get them.
I just wanted to make sure you were all right.
Sometimes bravery is running away as fast as you can.
Well, you didn't do that this time. Or ever.
Are you all right?
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too, Lady Kyoko.
I'm not 100%
That
sure.
surprised me.
I'm sorry, I can only whisper it.
But I know accommodation there sells
Before,
out. Like,
shouting
it's
from the
impossible
rooftops?
to get accommodation there now. And it's still 2 months away? I think tickets sell out roughly the same time accommodation
Let's finish the
does.
mission.
Yes, of course. Of course. I think that hat looks great on you, by the way. Okay, alright. Nobody said that.
Leave it on.
There's at least one person in chat who hasn't. Yeah, so it's not.
Oh, truth.
Uh,
I
Is it?
Go check.
Is it?
no. Anyway,
Yes, we're on our
What's
way
that?
down to get Zister and Little One.
I know that
Unless you
PAX
project the elevator while I
Oz
was talking.
tickets
Oh, full on
generally
already.
don't sell out.
Chuckles.
The 3-day
Okay.
passes will, but
They
the
must do it,
day
yes.
tickets
When you make it
not so
down,
much.
or you can just push the button for the elevator and it'll come back up.
We've got a
Look up
pretty
like this,
big
huh?
venue for the
So
crowd
when you
we
make
get
it
down
down,
here.
um,
I mean, it's
the door to the
it's
workshop is open.
definitely busy. It's definitely
Is it
well
not
attended,
on the,
but it doesn't.
door frame.
Come
The
in,
day
come
the
in.
daily tickets don't generally sell out.
We're back.
Safe, Zister.
Maybe the Saturday tickets.
Is everyone okay?
Everyone's okay. And we have a new guest.
What?
We found Side. And she wants to see you.
And he sets down his tool, and he pushes himself off the stool, and he shuffles up, and he wraps Sophia in a hug himself. And it lasts for about, like, half a second, just like and then he kind of is like, okay, maybe she didn't want that, and then let's go, and just starts trundling out towards the elevator.
Where's little one?
Shizer Hasher.
It looks like
Probably
I
in her
can't.
room. Maybe the kitchen. She was in there earlier.
Just pausing. It looks like I can't. I'm not being classified in Twitch as watching Overwatch anymore, which means I can't earn any tokens. I've tried to do what I can to get it to say, hey, look, yes, this is my current activity, but I guess my current activity is actually streaming. So I might as well just close that for now, because it's not doing anything for me other than being on in the background and slowly eating away at my stream bandwidth.
The elevator, the elevator now has Braum. It opens the door as Sophia and Zister are waiting to get in.
Oh, perfect. Unless little one is here, of course.
No, little one's upstairs.
All right. Well, come on quickly. We don't want to keep side waiting. She is injured, sister, but, well, we'll have to see how the recovery goes. I just wanted to prepare you for that.
It turns out that I have a bit of experience getting dragons back on their feet.
We also were able to recover the rocket, sister.
But that will have to wait, won't it, Lady Sophia?
Of course, but it is a priority.
Of course. The side was the one who returned it to us. Therefore, she should be satisfied first.
Satisfied.
Yes! Yeah! Perfect. Excellent.
How do we have everything? What happened? Where's the rocket now?
Patches has it.
It's being contained, sister. Everything is under control. One step at a time. All right? Can you do that?
When I was younger, I rode marathons. Pushes the button. Not as impressive as running them, but those cars didn't go very far back then.
How old are you?
I'm 26. I would build these walking exoskeletons. I never could get them to feel quite right.
Well, I'm sure they were magnificent, all the same.
We have Zister. We told him about the rocket, and now we're on our way up to see you guys.
So you make it to the top. You're now back in the exhaust.
I'm off to get Incisor and Little One, ASAP.
Okay.
That's okay.
When you approach Incisor's room, you can see that the door is slightly ajar, and inside the room is an absolutely spotless large spatula lying on the ground, and Incisor is playing peekaboo with the dragon, just covering her face and then opening it, and every time that she just sort of pops out, even though Little One is not fooled, doesn't have that kind of transitive memory that an infant has.
Object permanences.
Yes. But she just...
Oh, no, so cute.
Perfect.
I would like to see John play peekaboo with himself one more time. Can we see one more round of this, John?
Yo, where am I? Where'd I go? Boo.
This is the best day of my life!
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
And then sometimes she runs around in a circle, and then she runs over and she licks the spatula a couple of times, even though it clearly doesn't have anything left on it, and then comes back and sits down.
Well, Incisor, it looks like you've been busy.
You didn't see anything. And then abruptly the door closes, and then it opens again. But now she's just standing and leaning against the wall. What's up?
We've returned. We're back safe, and we have a surprise for Little One.
It's okay, you can
Oh,
go.
yeah, no worries.
I don't have any more fucking
Absolutely.
Incisor, language.
I'm sorry. I don't have any more people food.
Thank you.
Fucking.
Yeah.
I take it she's been no trouble, I hope.
No, she's a pain in the ass. You all come back okay?
Yes.
Shit.
There was one moment, it looked a little dicey, but we pulled through.
Just throws me like $20.
He bet that one of us would die.
Kind of a shitty thing to hear.
No, I didn't bet that one of you would die.
Just that somehow we would screw up.
No, if all of you make it out to the end of the month, I get a bonus. I'm in charge of security around here.
That's nice.
But everything's been quiet in Sizer? No, I don't know.
Everything's been fine. Kyoko managed to keep us in the loop, told us what was going on as best she knew. And, they're not coming after you. They don't know it was you.
Probably won't be long until they figure it out, though.
What you don't know is that Kyoko entered the building.
What?
Yeah, she told me not to tell you, which I don't know whether that means that I have to tell you or not, but she entered the building. She took care of your security footage.
Oh, no. She shouldn't have had to do that.
Why, oh no?
Because the last time she was there, it was traumatic.
Sure. I bet it was. And she just gave a big fuck you to the whole place.
Well, if this helped her get closure, then I'm happy for her.
You didn't tell her to do it. You didn't force anything on her. And she could have asked you to try to do it and step you through it herself, but she didn't. She went in. She's gonna have to deal with that.
That was the question that I raised at the time. What about their
But I don't think she
security
wants you to
footage?
know.
Good to know.
Or she does. I don't know. I don't even understand how you could even stand being in the same room with her for like 5 minutes before wanting to just choke her and make her tell the truth. That's not actually a threat. You don't have to start getting all indignant. I'm not going to hurt your girlfriend. I've known her longer than you. Well, no, I haven't. Fuck. Your life's confusing.
If you're done with the shovel, we should take little one out for her surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, I'm done. You take her out. Nice.
Come on.
You know I'm just ribbing you, Incisor.
No, I'm just impressed that you managed to tell a joke without fucking it up.
What is a joke? Sorry. Sorry. I can't do it. I really, I'm going.
Come on.
Also, the cake was a stroke of genius, but that's besides the point. Come on, little one. We have something to show you.
And Incisor, if you'd like to meet Scythe.
No, you've given away the surprise.
She's quite a sight. Yeah, doesn't know what I'm
She
saying.
100% understands what
No,
we're
she
saying.
doesn't.
100%.
Totally is reactive I say.
Best mom ever.
So while Little One was way more interested in the spatula about, 4 seconds ago, now she's out the door.
Yay! Ruined the surprise.
Oh god, we're chasing her.
She's at the door, and she's got a knife.
Oh shit.
God.
Oh, they all emphasize.
Oh
I'm
my
in
god.
the
Oh my god.
What is
Oh,
joke?
That's quote 1000.
Damn it!
But it's
God
great because he's playing
damn it.
Jeopardy.
Oh,
What is a
A
joke?
joke. Oh, another Game of Thrones.
Zister opens the door to let Little One run as she scrambles through the exhaust's marble floor and almost overshoots it and then corrects her course and then runs out and then runs up towards Scythe, whose eyes soften noticeably and just plows directly into her and then just clambers up along her body and up her neck and just starts chittering away into Scythe's ear. And Scythe gently plucks Incisor up from her head and just cradles her.
it's a little one.
Right.
hoping.
Not-
What
What the fuck?
It was chittering in her
Shit,
ear.
I really like Franken. My god, you gotta tell me all about it.
plucks
Instead of that being inside.
plucks Little One and just starts cradling her, even though she's getting a little big for it.
Thank you. She's well.
Enough
Who
Sometimes
brought
as of just now.
just gonna back up a little.
What is a joke? Sorry. Sorry.
Just
I can't
a
do it.
little.
Really, I'm going.
Come on.
Also, the cake was a stroke of genius, but that's besides the point.
I missed who brought Little One out.
Come on, little one. We have
Come
something
on.
to show you.
And Incisor,
Oh,
if you'd
bro.
like to meet Scythe.
No, you've given away the surprise.
She's quite a sight. Yeah, doesn't know what I'm
She
saying.
100% understands what
No,
we're
she
saying.
doesn't.
100%.
Totally is reactive I say.
Best mom ever.
So while Little One was way more interested in the spatula about, 4 seconds ago, now she's out the door.
Yay! Ruined the surprise.
Oh god, we're chasing her.
She's at the door. and she's got a
Reunites
knife.
is the word I'm
Oh,
looking for.
God.
Oh, they all emphasize.
Sorry.
I'm in
No,
the
no, no. Oh my god.
What is a
Oh,
joke?
That's quote 1000.
Damn it!
But it's
God
great because he's playing
damn it.
Jeopardy.
Oh,
What is a
A
joke?
joke.
It's actually quote 1001, but I accidentally deleted a quote when I was trying to delete a different
Zister
quote.
opens the door.
And we have
to
no
let Little
way
One
of
run
telling
as
what it
she
was, so
scrambles
I can't put
through
it back
the
in
exhaust's
time.
marble floor and almost overshoots it and then corrects her course and then runs out and then runs up towards Scythe, whose eyes soften noticeably and just plows directly into her and then just clambers up along her body and up her neck and just starts chittering away into Scythe's ear. And Scythe gently plucks Incisor up from her head and just cradles her.
It's a little one.
Right.
I'm hoping.
What the fuck?
Who was chittering in her
Shit, I
ear?
really like Franken. My God, you gotta tell me all about it.
Plucks,
Instead of that being inside.
plucks little one and just starts cradling her, even though she's getting a little big for it.
Thank you. She's well.
Well enough. I'm sure she's 10 times better as of just now.
Where's the rocket?
Yeah, so in the van I would have inspected to see whether or not the rocket containment unit was damaged at all.
No.
Great.
I was correct. Rocket's gone.
Oh boy. I think before that, sister. I mean, here she is. Inside, here he is. It's been a long time.
There will be more time. They've been waiting. I can wait a little longer.
All right. Take the time that you need with your daughter. We're also happy that you've been reunited. It's what we've been trying to do.
I'm going to need your help. All of you. Downstairs now.
All right.
Send little one inside if you need anything. We'll come out to you.
It has been a long time.
1 week
Since I
since you
felt
looked
safe.
at me.
We have no promises of that here, but you're out of immediate danger.
Life is not life if it is only safe. But rest can feel good.
Rest well. We'll see you soon.
Okay, that's good to know, Salsa.
I've made some modifications to the access to the balefire.
Sister, what kind of modifications?
You're going to see in a moment.
Oh.
Come on.
All
The
right.
elevator takes you down, and he walks up to keypad, and with a few deft finger
And
touches,
that gives you,
closes
you
the
know,
workshop
Sunday
door and opens
to
it so that
drive
it
back
now
without having to
accesses
worry
the
about
balefire room, which
driving
Cecilia,
all
you
night as well.
know quite well.
I do.
He steps in, and you can see that there are now 3 golden panels set into the floor, surrounded by a ring of light. Each one is equidistant from each other, surrounding the balefire itself.
Oh, in the balefire room. Okay. Sister wants to take care of the rocket. They bring it to the new and improved balefire.
Boss.
What do these do?
If there's one thing that I've learned, it's that we can't actually rely on one person here and now. I need the 3 of you. Only when 3 stand around this place can you actually access directly the flames inside.
Are we sure we can control the power of the balefire?
We're going to have to do it the best we can. We're going to fill the rocket with energy from the balefire directly, forcing out the energy that it's taken from 10 others, and returning them.
Are we sure that the energies will be returned to the people they were taken from?
Patches has a certain amount of skill
Aw, Salsa.
with her manufacturing, and they're my calculations.
Yeah.
Do you trust in your work?
Everything we've worked on points to this being the answer.
There's one way that we will absolutely know.
If this goes south, I'm shutting it down.
If it goes south, we're destroying it. To be honest, we're probably destroying it anyway.
We are absolutely destroying it anyway.
This is our best bet.
Then unlock it for me, and we'll begin.
The containment device I
Oh.
unlocked. Only Sister and I can open.
He lifts the rocket out with both hands, and there's this... For a second, you can see his face no longer shows the wrinkles and the weariness of his age.
I
And
guess
for a
she's
second,
been
there's
saving
still
them
that
up.
moment where he lusts after the final, actual solution that this grants him. And then he shakes that away. Take your spot.
Don't stand on one of the plates.
Me too.
Yep.
As the three of you stand, what was an invisible field before just falls away. And Zister holds the rocket up and extends it directly towards the fire itself, which arcs out. And it starts to glow with a heat, which he almost... It looks like it should be melting his hand off, but it doesn't quite. And then, after only about 3 seconds, it dims again. And the rocket, which normally had these lights blinking on the outside, is dormant. Readouts are negative. It's been discharged.
That's it?
No, it's not. And he tosses it at Sophia.
Catch it. But like very unwillingly, I do not want to touch this rocket.
I surrender this. I surrender it to the house that takes humanity as its charge.
Is there any way to know the people who just got their lives back? Is there any way to track them down to ascertain that this worked? I trust you. I trust both of you, absolutely, but I would like to see it.
Yes. I know each one who's been affected.
I want to visit all of them. Not now, but I want to look each of them in the eyes and know that they're living again.
You can visit one of them. Now, if you like. It's Brom's ex-wife.
Damn! He tosses the inactive rocket to Sophia, but she wants confirmation that the mortals who were powering it have been restored. He tosses the inactive rocket to Sophia, but she wants confirmation the mortals who were powering it have been restored. Sister knows all 10 of them, and one is Brom's ex-wife.
I think Brom like sits down hard on the ground. He's done.
You wanted to hand.
Like, I was holding
You want
it
me to put it in
open,
there? All right, I will put it in there.
I seal it closed.
Sister, how is it possible that she was affected? Did I bring the device to her somehow?
Brom. My friend. I'm only going to ask you this because I feel it's important that you make this decision on your own. Do you want to know the answer, knowing that you cannot change this past?
It's just like Watchmen.
I need to know. I cannot change the past. I can atone if I need. And as much information as I can have will drive my actions in the future.
Each person who was affected are known to us. They were volunteers.
Volunteers? How did we recruit mortals?
We needed sons of Adam and daughters of Eve. This only works with them, not with us. And you were the one who suggested, and I agreed that it should only be those who volunteered for this work who should have a chance to be affected.
Sister, I know the story is not yet done, but I refuse to believe that Claire would have volunteered for this work.
Your memories of her are of recent times. She has lived, Brom. She's lived, and she has lived a full life, but one devoid of the creativity and spark that it deserves.
Amazing, Soul Search.
Because of us.
because of me. I'm not going to let anyone else take responsibility for it. Which is why, Lady Sophia Applium, I also place myself under your custody.
I don't think that's necessary, sister. You've more than atoned for what you did.
Appropriate
And it wasn't
pictures.
even...
Sorry.
Oh, perfect. Let's destroy this. Utterly.
You can find out by asking your wife whether or not she remembers a sunset. I know it seems simplistic, but that's how you can get it to her.
Well,
Because if
she's
she does,
probably not
if she
talking
remembers a
about you,
sunset, then
Salsa.
it's fine. And if she calls it foolishness, which she has every time I've asked her, then it didn't. I haven't returned your wife to you. But we've given something back to her.
Yes. The world moves forward, and as have we.
Lady Sophia, I am directly responsible for aiding and abetting one of the Dantain. Unwittingly, perhaps, but I should have known better.
We all
Well,
should have
that's
known
not
better, sister,
knowingly,
and
sister.
he fooled us all.
You
Call
may
your
have
wife,
fooled
Brom. Let's make sure this happened.
Lady Sophia, when I am finished, if you'll allow me, I can assist in the destruction of the device.
me. Of course.
Can I?
Yeah, I really finished my coffee.
No,
Fine.
Yep. I'm gonna call Claire at work, I guess.
Hello?
Claire,
Hi.
how are you feeling today?
Fine.
I'm sorry, I had the urge to call you about a couple of things.
Okay, I'm at work, Brom. What is it?
You're terribly busy, I understand. I just wanted to make sure that, well, first of all, that you remember on Thursday night, yes, Aiden's Taekwondo? I'll take him there.
Sure, that would actually really help. Thank you.
Of course, I can do that.
He's
Claire,
challenging for a new belt. You know that, right?
I did.
Yeah, no kidding.
I didn't, actually.
Yeah, he's going for yellow.
That's so wonderful.
That's the second belt.
Yes.
White then yellow.
Well, he certainly takes after you in that sense, I suppose.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Look, sorry, I'm just feeling a bit sentimental today, I suppose. Claire, do you remember a sunset?
What, you mean the sunset during that trip on our honeymoon?
Yes.
When we were sailing?
You're ruining my life.
Fucking hell, John.
Why?
It feels like it's been a lifetime since then. I just like to know every once in a while that the past is still,
The past? Yes, it still is the past, Brom.
I was going to say, still real and still present, actually.
It was a good day.
Today?
No,
Oh, then.
the sunset, it was a good day.
It was. We've had more than a few.
Sunset?
I don't want to take any more of your time, Claire. I just wanted to ask.
Okay, I gotta get back to work.
All right. Well, if there's anything I can do other than that Thursday night, let me know. Sorry. Let me know.
Okay,
Well, goodbye. I hope you have a good rest of the evening.
you too.
Click. Well, Sister Lady Sophia Patches, it seems... Yes.
It worked?
Yes.
I won't be satisfied until we've spoken to all of them. Sister, do we need to ask all of them about sunsets, or is that particular?
Each one of them had a trigger. I'll take care of it now.
I'd like to know, please.
You can stay right next to me when I call.
Thank you for telling us, Sister, about these experiments.
There's one thing that I have to do first. And forgive me, I know that this is important, but this is important for me too. Patches, it fucking worked!
Fucking worked! Fucking worked!
Look at this! And he turns the containment unit around. Look, your channel resisted everything that went through it, and it actually purified the energies that went in from the balefire itself towards the fucking thing. I'm not sure what you did, but your design here just... There's something to it.
You built the device. I just had to add on to something.
No. You know that I wouldn't be able to complete it myself.
No.
Bum, bum, bum,
No knock
bum,
can.
bum, 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 bum,
Well,
bum, bum,
at least we have two
bum, bum,
Knockers
bum,
here who can figure this
bum,
out.
bum,
Well done, both of you.
bum.
Alright, let's go make some calls.
Perhaps we should resolve.
I trust you to destroy it.
It was entrusted to you, Lady Sophia.
I trust you to destroy it. I don't want to stand in the same room as that thing anymore.
Your phone calls.
It will be done. So Patches and I are like, as the
Sophia-
door closed, we're just like,
So Sophia and Zister step out, and now it's just Patches and Braum.
well, I can destroy it. Channel my glamour into the object,
Hey,
so to speak.
they don't count sugar as a condiment?
Sorry, I forgot about that. We can, of course, try any other mundane methods, so this will be effective.
The old Lord of the Rings, throw it in the fire.
Cast
this
it into the
isn't-
fire. Destroy it.
I think the balefire seems to power it more than destroy it. So
That's true.
Isildur!
Bye, Liz. Did she meet her? No.
yeah, she was-
No.
I would ask only, Patches, that you make sure, if anything happens to me, just remove the blade from the device.
tell your wife you love her very much. She knows.
It must be a reference to something.
You cannot not know David Bowie. Prom, have you lived under a rock your whole life? Is that how your skin got so tough? You just became one with rocks?
In a manner of speaking, yes, I did. It's always been in my nature to be.
Really? Have you
Like-
not listened to David Bowie?
Of course, I listened to David Bowie.
Good.
David Bowie was part of the music of my childhood.
Good.
You don't
His
need
energy and
ketchup
his
and mustard
imagination.
on pancakes
It'll be
or
to certain
French
heights.
toast.
I tried writing a song once.
I just pointed that Zeron is still in the Freehold, but he's not with you. Just so that he's not just standing there looming like,
I halfway through this, I realized I was like, oh yeah, he might just be there, being like, I don't get a glowy button.
No. You
What?
You're a freeholder.
Yeah. Asshole.
All right. Well then. Shall we,
Let's do this, Patches. Could you? Yep. Thank you.
There we go. Thanks,
so with
John.
the rocket in the containment, in the containment device, I'm going to reach in, pick it up, place it on the ground next to the balefire, and take Whisper. Is the sound I assume it makes when I draw it.
Hello.
Oh,
oh, it's no longer whisper, it's now lizard.
Hello.
You do the most annoying sword.
Every time.
This would be the most obnoxious sword.
oh no,
Oh,
Soul
no, I
I
Surge.
hope the stats on that sword are good.
Well,
But that downside is awful.
D&D game with cursed sword and it's just lives.
I'm just-
man. Alright, so you're taking Whisper.
Yes. And, you know, I'm not just going to, like, smash it into the rocket. I'm going to... I mean, what is the rocket even made of? I don't know if we ever really kind of spoke... Now that I can see it, you said there were lights on the side, and so it's like a 3
There are lights on the side. It looks actually more like a very large silly putty egg.
Nice.
It fits comfortably in a hand, but it's the whole hand. So for your hand, it would probably fit in the palm
Mhm.
because you're big. And the plastic that it's made of is it feels very kind of smooth and very soft. It doesn't feel like normal plastic.
I guess well, we know it's been deactivated, so you know, I'm not going to take any chances by like trying to open it or anything. But I guess I do want to just check it to make sure that there's no markings or anything on the outside that would possibly, you know, show that it's damaged or something that I would need to watch out for.
No, I mean it looks pretty self-contained. It survived a decade inside a dragon's icy stomach.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
true.
boss. All right, well in that case, I look to Patches. I just nod. I want to toss it up into the air. So I'm next to the balefire. Toss it up into the air and skewer it with Whisper as it's
Nice.
coming down. I just don't want to touch it. I don't want it to be touching anything, just in case.
All right,
All right,
I toss it
You're
up.
gonna try
and then
stabbing
the
it in
sword
mid-air.
pierces
Alright.
through.
I'm going to channel my glamour into Whisper to destroy the object.
Now you remember
Keep
that
on from this
it's a certain number of points of glamour which I designate. If you
Yep.
don't have that glamour, you pay for it in health levels.
Yep,
The
I
difference?
feel okay with the number of health levels and glamour that I have total right now.
You're looking to destroy it utterly?
Yes,
4 points of glamour.
I have 2.
All
So
right.
I'll also bruise myself. Ow. Son of a... My spleen.
The tragic part is that it takes those health levels directly out of your nuts.
Wait, what?
Why? Who would design it like this?
Sister!
I'm not her. Perfect is the enemy of my nuts.
Perfect is the enemy of my nuts. Welcome back.
Perfection. Perfection.
Oh, bye, John.
Oh.
Oh, man. Okay.
So the rocket cost 4 points of... You know what? That might actually be better.
Energy or enemy?
Was the energy in my nuts?
Yeah, I think that might actually be better.
Oh god. Made Aragorn. This sounds fantastic.
I mean, nuts are high in protein and calories. It's energy.
So... Oh.
Oh god.
Hey!
Ah.
What a day.
The rocket vibrates just once that you can feel along the hilt of the blade. And then it doesn't explode with any kind of force. It just ends its existence. A mist and a few cogs fall. Not with a bang. But
With a...
hello.
Oh, no! No!
Goodbye. Well, bye. Dream.
Oh.
Sophia, he manages to go through call after call, and each time asks them a very specific question about a very specific moment. And each time they remember and reflect upon this moment instead of dismissing it as frivolous or unimportant.
Are there any of those people? He had mentioned that we would recognize some of them.
He's not telling you who he's calling.
I don't like that very much.
Yeah, what a dude.
Listen, I can tell you them, but they do not deserve a certain amount of privacy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you if you promise not to tell others.
I promise.
So he goes through. One of them, the only person who you recognize as like a relation that you specifically recognize, is Incisor's sister.
She's a sister. Sister. Okay.
Okay.
Out, Sizer.
But she doesn't know.
K9.
And Sizer doesn't know
No. And that's because
because
be-
she would never forgive you.
no. No, not at all. She doesn't know because she doesn't know it's her sister.
What?
Okay, look, not everything is my fault, all right?
Why do you suddenly know everybody's
Sure
secrets?
fucking
How long have
seems
you been
like it,
sitting on this?
sister.
What the hell have you been doing?
Incisor was adopted. She grew up in an adopted household. The only reason why I was
Wait,
doing
I
this
need to
was 'cause
backtrack
kept
because
tabs on
I
the
was
rest of the family.
I was
She's
mad
shown
at
no interest.
Grenfrew for something.
She doesn't know because
Outside.
she doesn't know it's her sister.
What?
Okay, look, not everything is my fault, all right?
Why do you suddenly know everybody's
Sure
secrets?
fucking
How long have
seems
you been
like it,
sitting on this?
sister.
What the hell have you been doing?
Incisor was adopted. She grew up in an adopted household. The only reason why I was doing this was because I kept tabs on the rest of her family, but she's shown no interest and in fact has refused to learn who her birth family is. You can ask
Oh.
her. I'd recommend if you do to wear those shoots that they do when you learn how to beat up attackers in those self-defense classes. But
Huh. So this is her biological sister
yes.
who she doesn't know exists.
Oh,
who was impacted by
she's
the rock.
aware that she has a birth family, but she doesn't know them. She was discarded because they had premonitions that she was going to be something terrible.
They had premonitions,
Would I know them?
and they got rid of
You could visit
her.
them if you wanted.
The
I'll
fuck?
take their information.
So they had
Hands
premonitions
to
and
scribble down on a
adopted
piece of
her
paper.
out because she was
I reserve the
going
right to talk to
to
her about this. And
crystallize.
tell her this part.
How did they have premonitions? Where were they getting that power
It's not
from
your secret to
if
keep.
they're not
Not if she wants to know.
No, it's her
profane
secret,
themselves?
not mine. And she decided to not tell other people that she doesn't have any contact with her normal family.
What's up with Incisor's birth parents that they were able to have premonitions about her what's up with Incisors' birth parents that they were able to have premonitions about her crystallizing? I need to figure out how to spell crystallizing. Okay, changeling. Chrysalis. Crystallizing? No, I didn't mean chrysalis in. Before their chrysalis, changelings hover in half reality, seeing the world as others do, but touched by flashes of otherness. Experience momentary visions of chimerical reality without understanding what they see, or hear strangely compelling sounds without recognizing their origins. Crystallizing. So I guess I'm missing an S there. Okay, so yeah, I don't understand what's up with Incisors' birth parents having a premonition about Incisor crystallizing. So they've got the nous or the innate nature to have a premonition about them being something up with their daughter, but not being able to take care of her. I don't understand that at all. I don't have any. This is like the first of the 3 questions that I've got for tonight, and it might end up being all 3 of the questions because I am flabbergasted that this actually happened. I didn't pick up on this during the stream on the weekend. I am yeah, this is actually floored me. She doesn't know her birth family.
She crystallized when she was 5.
That young.
It's been known to happen. And they couldn't handle her.
Maybe I can see that. But sister, I don't understand.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't a premonition then. Okay. So she crystallized at 5 and then they gave her away.
How this rocket featured into into the timeline of events, and when you met everyone, and how they volunteered, and why you would ask them to volunteer, and how you knew everybody, and did you know Brahm at this time? And this was before you were captured, but where did the dragons factor in? Can you walk me through? Since
Yes,
you're in
I
my
can.
custody, you know. Oh my god, no, sister! Oh shit.
All right. Anybody who comes under my purview, somebody who decides to work with me directly, or somebody who becomes a member of this freehold, I vet. I control too much here, too many expensive things, too much to worry about. You think that I was paranoid then? Now I'm going to be absolutely stupid. But back then I made sure that I knew who people were, because I needed to trust them. You saw to what lengths that he had to go to win my trust. It's the same with everybody else.
Kate.
So yes, I've been in contact with everybody's family. They know me as either a friend or an employer or a business partner of everybody who I've spoken to, and I just want to get to know who they are.
I guess I
trust.
missed it on the stream because I would
Part of
have
the reason why I trust her is because,
hated Kate if I'd
like
seen
some
it back
changelings,
then.
she just wasn't wanted. It's difficult to handle a ReCapt, especially one so young, and I can't necessarily blame her family for what they did. And for the record, adoption's not that simple, and I'm not making a statement on adoption, just out of character for everyone there. Like, I have adopted people in my own family there, and it is not an easy topic. Just, this is fantasy. Look up what changelings actually are. They're stolen babies.
Accurate.
Each one of them, I obtained their consent to be a part of this project, and I made them as aware as I could have while they were enchanted, so that they could understand. But humans don't remember everything from when their enchantment fades away. They were also made aware of this, and each one of them decided that this was an important enough task because they still had some kind of tie to the one who they were helping. Claire, for instance, may no longer be married to Brom, but still cared about him, and when she realized what he had sacrificed, why he had been so distant from her, she decided to help.
So, this all happened before the assault on Adford.
Yes.
This happened before the rocket was taken.
Yes.
Oh!
So you...
John just mentioned that humans, mortals, don't remember things from when they're enchanted. I've just realised that they enchanted Kaylee for a little bit. And they need to spend a point of glamour to keep that going. Or else it fades. Where the fuck is Kaylee? Kaylee hasn't been here for a couple of sessions. Is she still enchanted? Did she go back to her pack? Alright, so the question that I had about Incisor has sort of gone. Okay, so the question I have now is now about Kaylee. Is Kaylee still enchanted? Or did she go back to her pack?
activated it before it was stolen?
That's correct.
And that's when you realized what it did?
Yes. I wanted to hide it. Unfortunately, it turns out that those at Adford found some way to be able to track us. Specifically, they can find heavy glamour signatures. Glamour signatures are hard to mask. The rocket was glowing like a sun, and I knew that I had to do whatever I could to keep it outside of Adford's hands.
So you sent Brom to side.
They could find Scythe.
For 2
They wouldn't know
hours.
that the rocket was inside her. She's
One
made
and a
of
half
pure glamour,
speed,
more
but I'm
glamour
only
than most of us could
2
carry in our
hours
own
20
bodies.
minutes
I hope that
through
perhaps
the
she could find
through
either a
the
place to
video.
hide it, or Brom was the one who came up with
after
the idea that she would hold
skipping
it within her.
15 minutes.
Alright, so the rocket was hidden.
As long as the rocket was hidden inside Scythe, I knew that Adford wouldn't be able to find it, unless they found Scythe herself, and I figured that she could defend herself. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. When I tried to rescue her, I only found her daughter.
And this was within Adford itself.
Yes.
Alright, so the assault on Adford the second time. Wait, second time.
I didn't know they had Scythe, but I knew that they had her daughter, and I rescued her and brought her back here, immediately leaving to try to find Scythe once again. I went to where I knew that she was based, New Orleans.
I see. So that was the most recent time when we found you.
Little whiskers.
And so 10 years ago, what were they after?
That I don't know. You'll share this with Patches and Brom, won't you?
To the best of my abilities.
I can tell them too. I should be the one to tell them. Patches believes that I'm trying to keep things from her, when in reality it's just that Things are so complicated. Sometimes I miss things. I'm getting old.
Accurate.
One thing that
If you tell her I told you that,
I
I'll
won't.
be upset.
I want to make sure you know of something that Scythe mentioned to us, though. She mentioned that a man of about my height, one of us, was the one who handed her over to Adford. And I think you understand that doesn't rule out too many people. It leaves certain glaring options there, and we need to consider them. And be prepared.
If he pokes his head up again, we'll take care of it.
That's a promise.
Patches, bro.
I think
I
we're dancing. Yeah. Okay.
I
We're doing a horror around the flag.
What?
I mean, I'm just looking at the gears and whatever's kind of piled up on the floor.
Put them in the rock containment unit.
Welcome back, Soul Search.
It was a bit more taxing than I expected.
Thank you for doing it.
No, of course.
I was just thinking that overall this was easier than I expected it.
In general,
Yes.
yes.
Thanks for tackling that spot.
Somebody's calling me. Just give me
I
a
wish I could
minute.
have gotten to him before he.
And I
Take
answered the
yourself.
phone and they immediately hung up.
I tried.
Is it done?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Hello, is it done? Sorry, I thought we were walking in.
Block
and we weren't
number.
done.
Nice.
we're like quite close to each other. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
perfect.
Right.
What are you doing in here?
Oh, you're not Kyoko.
Oh.
Smash through the wall and walk away. You're not the. Yeah, is that okay? Okay, perfect. It's done.
Thank you. You did a very necessary thing, and Sister called everyone. And no one seems to still be suffering ill effects.
In hindsight, it's so obvious that if
There's a
he...
cake upstairs. Let's go eat it.
What was that from? Sorry.
Nope, I agree. Cake first, talk later.
What? Oh,
Back in the elevator.
Let's do that. We're gonna head on up to the
we
cake.
do a lot of walking and talking in this game. So
dun,
we're
dun,
all
like an Aaron
excited.
Sorkin episode, man.
If we're heading forward, like anywhere past where Zister is, I'd be like, Zister, cake, let's eat.
He's remained in the workshop for now.
Yeah, kids with your sweet food.
I'm gonna bring him a piece down and make a mental note to do this.
While we're heading up, then I want to let you know that you should talk to Zister and get his account of the timeline. What happened?
Well, then I'll let Patches do that, I guess.
I'll do it after.
No, I understand. I guess I'm just surprised that. I mean, it's so obvious in hindsight that if he wanted to test his device on mortals, that he would ask people to volunteer to do so. He wouldn't just take random people off the street.
He isn't Fontaine.
He isn't Unseelie would be a better. Well, he is Unseelie, but
he's not silly, but
Or-
ravaging is essentially. Anyway. I just can't believe that I would have allowed this at all. That any of us would. That it wouldn't have been obvious what a bad idea it was.
Zister didn't realize it would do what it would do because Zister designed it to not have the effect that it did.
And you didn't have me around.
Soul
for that.
Search, I'm glad you
Alice
figured out what
with
to
it.
do. That sounds like a good plan.
He-
Yay!
Turned it into something it shouldn't have been.
Talus.
Talus, who might be the reason why Scythe and Little One were taken by Abford.
Well,
Talus, who knows how to get in here, who we all are.
I can't imagine he's going to rest until he's destroyed this freehold. Didn't he?
Or perhaps he won't rest until he's covered his tracks and cut off whatever part of him has shown the mark. Perhaps he's running and hiding.
Maybe Nera's got two biotic
Things are coming
arms.
Some serious feelers for him. Without any trace, any whiff of a new satyr in town, in Ottawa or elsewhere.
What do we do when we find him?
Got Kaylee wrong.
I want to believe that he can be made to see the error of his beliefs, that glamour is something to be treasured and prized, not destroyed.
I think it's a question of beliefs. I don't think it's that simple. I think
It
he
is tainted. I don't know if there's some way to remove a daunting nature from a person. If you guys want to research that, feel free.
I do. I do want to research
If
that.
there is a way to actually reverse it, I mean, we managed to reverse the rocket. But if there isn't, it's
I've got my second question.
Is there
So
any
what
nature?
you're saying is the only option might be to destroy him. We might as well say it.
certainly tried to destroy me.
In cold blood? I don't think I can.
Manipulated Incisor's minds. He almost destroyed.
Lethal
The
force
lives
is
of 10 people.
authorized if any of us run across him, but we shouldn't go after him alone.
No, of course not. But
Oh, August? Oh, that's okay. I thought it was earlier than that.
Some waited.
But yeah, August. You still get tickets for
If
August.
it is a curse on his fey soul, perhaps when it is reborn, there is a way of lifting the curse before that happens. I'm not too knowledgeable with these things, but
Because isn't it better to bring something beautiful into the dreaming than
It'd certainly
rip
be better
something
to
out of
make
it?
sure that his soul wasn't just reborn as a Dantean in some other body. That's for damn
Mhm.
sure.
I don't know where to start, but I'm gonna look.
Pat, as I understand what you're saying, what you're talking about is true fey death, and
No, I'm talking about if we can cure his fey soul before we kill him. That'd be really fab. Because no, I'm
It
not
would be
interested
fab.
in handling cold iron.
What if I was in someone's dream when they were killed? What would happen?
Another topic to read on. You've got many nights of reading ahead.
they would cease to dream, right?
You die in the game. You
Die in
the
real
game.
life.
I mean, wait, if you die in...
No, if a person dies while you're in their dream, I have to.
Oh, shit.
I mean, probably Soul Search.
Man, it's
And this elevator ride.
2009 all over again?
All right.
Oh yeah, elevator.
Are we in the exhaust?
Yes.
Wink, welcome back to the
Is
stream.
there still cake?
Yes.
It only hasn't been touched, so...
Twerkle is a
Sizes
thing,
around.
yes.
Little one apparently likes chocolate now.
oh boy.
Let me pause and explain real quick. Twerkle comes from the previous game that these fine folks were playing. They were playing Exalted 3rd Edition, tabletop role-playing game in which the players, player characters, form a circle, and they have different paths of the solar's part of the zenith and the dawn and the eclipse, and so they are basically solar powered superheroes. They don't need to. They're imbued with superhero powers basically, but it's all very celestially themed. And so when there are 5 of them specifically, and they form a circle, and that's like the name for their group. And so chat became the Twerkle, the Twitch circle chat Twerkle. So, and there was the whole twerking thing. I'm sure that led into it. And so that was how Twerkle came about. And so even now that they've moved on to Changeling the Dreaming, it's still Twerkle chat. I'm glad that explanation didn't take more than 60 seconds, because a lot of the time mine didn't do. Moving on.
I mean, I'm gonna move to, like, cut up the cake and serve it, but I guess I'll see if Claude's around, because I know Claude wouldn't like that.
I don't think he made it though. I think Incisor might have made it.
No, but, it's in his exhaust.
Mhm.
And is Zeron just chilling, or did he leave? I can't remember.
Zaren's chilling in the exhaust currently.
Fabulous.
So's Claude, actually. He's behind the bar.
Okay.
The freeholders
Well, I don't
celebrate
know
with
about anyone
cake.
else, but I could use a drink.
The rocket's destroyed. Mission successful.
Cake and drinks. Drinks.
And it seems the souls or lives or memories or whatever it was have been returned.
That's a good enough reason to drink than anything.
Also, there's cake.
I don't know if I would trust the cake.
Still gonna try it.
Suit yourself.
Why would you not trust the cake?
Because I did not make the cake.
Claude makes the best cake,
Ah.
and anything else is inferior.
I mean, it looks delicious.
I'm going to go get a piece of cake too,
Was it shop bought
Like
cake?
and a sidecar to drink.
A
That's what I've been
sidecar.
drinking. at the
Orange
Seagull.
and chocolate?
No.
Oh, what's a
A sidecar is I just started drinking it this week at the Seagull. Like I tried. 50
Soul
times.
Search? All
Yeah.
of them.
Rows and rows.
hello? Can I take
All
your
of
order?
them.
Please.
It's
Uh,
cognac
can
and
I
orange liqueur, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brandy, triple sec, or at least the one that I have is brandy.
Ah,
triple sec,
nice
triple sec.
wink.
Lemon juice. There's a lot of lemon juice.
Flailing
So maybe
happens a
there's
lot in Dark
one I have
Souls,
is
from
lemon-
what I've
It
seen.
was so good. That's what I want.
That's what you're having.
That's
You're
what
having
I'm
cake.
Point.
Right. And I'm gonna head over to Sir Zeron if he is maybe sitting, or I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's sitting, and he has a gin and tonic sitting next to him. It's untouched.
Old friend.
How are you?
I am. Well,
Feeling closure?
in a way, I've learned quite a bit these this past hour.
I played
Suzerain.
a
But I think the
magic
most
guy on
important thing
my
is that we did our duty. Mission accomplished.
Skyrim stream.
You're right.
That I was doing before Divinity. And it was like,
Seems
I
like that's been
finally
hanging over
finished
my head for a long
Skyrim as a
time.
magic guy, and it was like, it was very interesting. I really enjoyed it. I found it
And mine as well.
more fun than
Suzerain.
the hitting things.
I don't know, Suzerain. I'm not sure what you would most enjoy
Especially when I had a
right
companion
now,
to
just to get a little
tank
bit closer to the dreaming. Other than this drink, of course. Just kidding.
I've always hated the expression "time heals all wounds," because it doesn't. But in
no
this case, I
worries,
think it
no
might.
worries at all, Wink. Absolutely, notice.
Just a little cold.
If I need to go
Nothing
back,
bad.
then I will.
We haven't felt before or since. I'll be
I've
right as rain
distracted
in
myself enough
a
times.
while. I'll visit a few friends who can show me what they've been working on.
Well, Suzerain, know that there is a standing offer here at the Spark, any time that you may need. You can challenge your once great master to combat.
Oh, good luck.
Friendly combat, of course. See if you can best me.
I wouldn't feel right tripping with you just now.
All right, Suzerain. Just know that the offer stands.
I mean, both of them are not at full strength right now. Zeron has a lot of banality racked
Or
up,
if you
and
need more
Brom
time
is
looking out over Cross's shadow.
physically injured.
You can head there too.
You're handed some whiskey by Claude. Patches, what are you drinking?
Whatever he gives me.
Yes.
It's like some
Absinthe.
Seriously?
Sure.
Alright, I will nurse
Got some
it.
green fairy.
I
Which is
will
good.
take that slowly.
Start texting the Duke.
Oh boy.
You up?
Actually, I do text him and I say, mission accomplished.
You up?
You are. I can help you with that.
That's true, Soul Search. That does get somewhat
Tessellian.
distracting.
And to Kay. To Helena. Mission accomplished.
Hey, what?
Ooh.
You up?
You are.
I'm rewinding this.
Ding.
To Celian
Okay.
and to Kay. To Helena. Mission accomplished.
I was worried there that I did not get a mention as Celian. But I was like, hang on, wait, what? Where was the toast to me? But that was fine. I only caught it at the decay part. So it was cool. Yeah, I bounced out of Magic for a while, several years ago, and I'm sort of creeping back in now. I'm not making the I was able to make the pre-releases, and then my sisters had kids, and somehow their birthdays always fall on pre-release weekends. I'm not sure how they managed that. It was just one of those weird quirks of fate, and I always have a family birthday on anytime there's a pre-release these days. Either that or it's and one of them's quite often, like one of them's right near Australia Day, and one of them's my sister's birthday is near the end of September. So there was always that one. I played the online version for a bit, but sort of bounced off that pretty quickly because I already owned cards and I didn't see the value in buying them again to play them online. And I was like, no, yeah. Yep, no worries, Soul Search. Happy to take those cards from you.
Ooh. The door is exploding inward.
Oh, fuck. And the glass just like...
Anything else for the three of you?
Can I bring a slice of cake? If the cake is edible.
Yeah, that's true. How
The
good-
cake is okay. It is definitely a store-bought, like Betty Crocker-esque
Yep.
mix, which means that it's fine.
Mhm.
It's never going to be amazing, but it's fine.
I'll
It
bring
was a
slice of
store-bought
sister.
cake.
And I want to step back out into the garden to see if little one inside and ReCapt, everyone's okay out there. And
Oh,
Any
Rika's
problems, I would
still
hope,
there?
but,
It's
you know.
been months, hasn't it?
Cake.
Yep. Cake was waiting for us. About that.
Quite welcome to
Thank you.
Lurkwink. Thank you for being here.
Somehow I shouldn't be surprised at this sort of thing anymore.
I'll warn you, it was made by Incisor. It's totally fine. It's just not up to Claude's usual caliber.
It was not made.
I've never
by
really
anybody.
cared that much over what Claude makes. If he wants to be happy by spending a really lot of time over something I'm just going to eat in 4 seconds before I get back to work, then that's his problem.
Yep. So what do you want to get to work on next? What do we need to make to be ready?
I feel like I just sort of shot one of my dreams.
Good to hear, Soul
Put it around
Search.
behind the barn and I put one between its eyes.
Yeah, but you know that that one was broken by someone else. You know that you can rebuild it and that it will do what it was supposed to.
No. It's not for me to build anymore.
Then let's build something new. Why don't you explain this timeline to me? Sophia told me to ask.
I'm going to surrender the plans for the rockets to you, and you can do what you want with them. Keep them, destroy them. Just know how powerful it is, what the possibilities could be. But I think it's someone young who should decide whether this thing ever sees the light of day. I'm old, and my perspectives are blinded by wishful thinking. And he goes through the timeline with you. I can repeat it if you want, but...
No, it's okay. Thank you, though.
Can you go through it with me too?
While he's talking, I'm gonna sort of go around the shop and get some like sturdy cord, but thin.
I just garrote him. The real plans are in your head, old man.
And I'm gonna take out 2 of the little cogs that fell, and I'm going to just tie a quick, loop knot through the cog with the cord, and tie a knot and give it to him, and have one for myself.
It's our own version of the Iron Ring. I'll take it. And he puts it on. Brom?
That was a nice touch
Yeah.
from Kate for Patches.
I
It's
Braun
probably
gets
not
ideas
going to
and
make
stuff
the
out of the garden,
recap,
but
though.
he's going to just check in on Scythe, Little One, Rika, make sure they have everything they need.
Brom.
I've got a lot of notes already, and there's still an hour, half an hour,
Her daughter is asleep.
a good 40,
Just placed her
45 minutes to go.
next to a tree and is just lying close nearby.
Hello, I'm Billy. Wanna buy my Wazer wiper?
Thank you
I'm
for
just
the
coming to make sure we have
follow,
everything we need,
VX
Scythe.
Zero Entertainment.
Other than the time to recover from your time spent at that place.
My legend takes me across eons. Suffering for so short a time will merely reinforce me. You've given back what I cared
Good
about,
evening to you. It's
not the time wasted
the middle of Saturday afternoon
For
down
life.
here.
that deserved more.
But I hope you were enjoying your evening.
I wish I had a lifespan like yours,
You do.
in a way.
Reminds me, did
In a
I
way.
change the dashboard to... Okay,
I
did.
know that I am reborn to perform, hopefully, great things. But it is always a new lifetime, if you understand my meaning. I wish I could have your perspective.
Why do dreams exist, Brom, but for us to learn from? I cannot have your perspective unless you give it, just as you cannot have mine.
Accurate.
That's just part of our existence, I suppose.
Existence, Brom, is what you make of it. No one else can tell you.
No, you're right. I've
I
been living
often am.
you had many years to be right, of course. I'm glad that we were able to find you. It was important that we reunite the two of you. I wasn't sure when that was going to happen, or where, or how, but we did it.
Look to happier things. For now you have the time. There will be other adventures, Brom. Other dangers.
There is already one on the horizon.
Do not let your life become consumed,
Is she?
for you deserve more, and heroes deserve their rest.
Is she though, Soul Search?
I have one thing to do before I rest, but may have to wait for another day.
How many pages did she send
I'll let the two of you enjoy
Mike?
your time together.
Is it Mike?
And if you need
I
anything
can't
more,
remember.
I'll whistle.
Oh no. She's going to be doing
Um,
push-ups, isn't she?
I don't know kind of what like time of day it is, or whether it's late. I don't think it's that late.
No, it's like noon.
Well, shit.
Really-
Time for some day drinking. No,
It never...
sorry. I
Anyway, what were we saying?
no. I mean, people can feel free to stop me as I do this, but I would.
John,
like to
not
go,
afraid to go there
to
for the
the
laugh.
John.
off the no, just kidding. I think where the closest one would be probably to the Y downtown. I
I
want
feel so good. I just gotta pump up.
No, I'd like to. I love it. Monday evenings at the Y downtown, they have.
What do they have? What do they have, Scott? What do they
You know
got?
what, John?
What do they got Monday evenings at the Y?
It's soccer night at the Y, John.
Oh yeah! All right.
Sauna night.
Hasn't played a lot of soccer recently,
Soccer
but he
night.
wants to, revel in his natural.
He wants to just wreck some 8-year-olds in soccer.
I didn't know. Excuse me. What did you just
I
call
don't
it?
remember this part at all.
Right.
I had to bounce
Football
out for a bit.
because
Go
of the
have
feet.
fun.
Yeah, goddammit, it's the footy.
Well, that actually does
Fuck,
take a lot
Brom,
of
what the fuck's wrong with you?
Look, it's about where I grew up. It's cultural. You have to understand this side. I know you transcend it,
Yeah,
but
you leave letters out of your words, Chris. It's okay.
You know that it's known as soccer here, and that there's nothing wrong with that, right?
It's soccer here.
Go ahead. Sorry for ruining your fun.
nope. Now I'm gonna have more fun bringing those 8-year-olds. No, I want to.
Goal, bitches.
I got it.
Stop crying.
Oh.
I don't care if your nose is bleeding.
Say that shit to me one more time, Ginny. I know, but legitimately,
Sure,
I want to
yeah.
go revel in my athleticism and
Hmm.
go challenge all comers. 1v8.
To
Okay.
what?
Sophia?
I guess I'll have my cake. And I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google how to turn back a Dauntain. No, I'm not. I'm going to go and talk to Incisor. Yeah, that'll disturb some shit.
Oh, I see, Captain.
Incisor's just kicking back, leaning against the. Well, she's in her bed with her back leaning against the wall, and she's sitting there, and she closes a book and puts it down as Sophia comes in.
Can I sit down?
Sure.
What areas are there to sit down in here, John?
There's a beanbag chair and the bed.
I'm a perch in the beanbag chair
confronts?
as daintily as possible. Thanks for making the cake. Very thoughtful.
Yeah, it would have been really stupid if one of you come back dead or something. Like, congratulations, you'll never see Patches again. I don't know.
Sophia confronts Incisor
So,
over her birth.
I have a question to ask you, and I
Family.
don't think you're going to be very happy about it.
Oh, birth wrong.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Every question you ask me, I get to ask something from you.
That seems fair.
Neither one of us is allowed to get mad.
Neither one of us is allowed to let getting mad get the better of us.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Could you tell me about your family? Both of them.
You believe.
I can't tell you anything about the other family, because they're not my family, and I don't know them. I was raised here. By various people. I'm not comfortable saying that Zister was like a father to me, because he wasn't. More like a crazy uncle who every once in a while poked his head in. But as people came and went from here, I learned. There was this Slua who taught me everything that I know about embossing. There's Talus. Talus taught me about music. Kyoko, she I never really was into that whole technology crap, but she taught me enough so that I could get by. you ever loved anyone enough to want to stick around? Longer than just a night or two?
That's a question. I don't think it's about loving someone enough. Or not enough. I don't know how to put it into words in a way that doesn't make me sound like a...
We're not getting mad.
Right. I don't love anyone more or less than the next. But my love changes. It transforms. It's like a river.
I guess you just don't have that jealousy or possessiveness that everyone else seems to be burdened with.
People feel it towards me. That's
You
enough
feel it
to
towards
realize I
everybody.
don't need to feel that towards anyone else.
Fair.
Do you want to see your birth parents
Fuck no.
again?
Parenting is the sort of thing that you do or you don't. And they didn't. So I don't. And I'm sure they have their reasons. It's only recently that Zister managed to convince me that I shouldn't hate them. But that doesn't mean I have to have any part of them.
Of course not.
Why are you interested in me?
At first it was because no other ReCapt had ever given me the time of day. So, I was fascinated. You're so unlike anybody I've ever met before. And now I don't know what keeps me coming back. But there's something. If your birth parents were to arrive at the Spark, enchanted, tomorrow, and asked to see you, would you turn them away or would you talk to them?
I'd talk to them, and then I'd find the person who enchanted them, and I wouldn't make the same promise I just did before we started this fun little game. They're the ones who decided that they couldn't handle me. Like I said, I'm trying very hard not to hate them for it. I understand it. But I don't see what I'm going to have to gain by talking to them. What do you wish I would do?
I wish that you were telling the truth about not feeling anger towards them.
I said I'm trying.
I know. That's what I want. I want you to let go of that anger. And I understand that wanting that does not make it happen.
I've got a lot of anger inside me.
But that means you feel.
Yeah, believe it or not, we can feel it. It's a thing. We do it.
I mean, I was in a place today full of people who...
Who don't feel.
It's easy to think they don't. Patches said a very offhand comment about how none of them have any knowledge about us. And no desire to learn. I don't
Sorry,
necessarily
Soul
see
Search,
that.
it was me buffering.
I think they want so desperately, but it's blocked.
My
for them
buffering has
somehow.
stopped now.
And what I want is to remove
It's
the
fine.
block.
Everything's okay with
And we
me.
just did it today for 10
I do
people,
apologize.
But
Maybe you'll be able to.
it's a drop in the ocean, but I have to try.
It's your turn.
Do you still feel that I spend time with you out of pity?
No.
I'd like to roll for that, please.
Sure.
Well,
Who are
Perception
you?
empathy, difficulty 6.
Oh, hang on. You're going, buddy.
that's 6 successes.
No,
She's not
it's
lying.
okay.
No way.
6 successes.
No, I think that you hang around me because of curiosity. I think that you hang around me because there's parts of me that you don't understand and that you don't like not understanding them.
Ooh, deep cuts.
I think the whole world is somehow, for some fucked up reason, beautiful in your eyes. And you're trying to find it everywhere you can, and you're trying to find it in me. I'm a challenge for you, and you like that.
I really thought you knew me better than that.
Well, that's possible,
Isn't-
Soul
isn't-
Search.
Just before you continue,
Yeah.
here she's lying.
Perfect.
Or perhaps she's trying to convince herself that she's telling the truth.
The challenge isn't trying to see the beauty in you.
Some weird
Trying to get you to
pipe
see it in
noises. It's fine. Everything's fine.
When a relationship with me ends, it's because the person I'm with suddenly saw in themselves what I saw in them.
And then you
And we
move
part
on.
ways the better for it. They don't need me anymore. That's it.
Do you think when somebody reaches that moment of enlightenment that they have learned to see the beauty in themselves instead of just the beauty that exists personified in you, that somehow that makes you less important to them?
Soul Search?
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
their
yeah,
priorities
yeah.
shift for the better. Rather than looking for me to give them validation, they're suddenly able to find it for themselves. It's not perfect, obviously. Don't snap my fingers and everything gets better for them, but if I can inspire one person to go off and paint at the end of a long workday, and then maybe after a few months of trying, they make something that they are proud of, not because I said it was nice, but because they liked it. That adds just a little extra magic into the world.
One last question.
Oh, wait, is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
Did you make the cake from scratch?
No. I don't know how to do that shit. I bought it at a
Think I
grocery
do?
store, and I
Easy
poured
question.
milk, and I added water, and I cracked an egg into it. And then at the end, I put a candle in the center, and I didn't make the candle either.
Oh, it's a cake mix. That's different to a store-bought cake.
Fun game.
Thanks for playing. Yeah, get up. Ugh, the old bones.
And just as you reach the door, do you know it's not the first kiss? I can get a first kiss. It's the second one I'm worried about.
What are you doing?
Trying not to be bad.
Oh, boy. Well, what would this count as?
Not very successfully.
You ain't kissed me yet. I'll see you around.
Saunter off with my cake.
I bet she doesn't even have to go to the gym
Brom's just like, oh.
Patches, you get a text message.
to work off this cake.
Tonight? Question mark.
You what? Oh,
Why not?
Why not?
Do you type back, why
Yes.
not?
No, I type back yes.
And I think we'll end the session here.
All right. So, here is a world. Sophia confronts Incisor over her birth family. Incisor. How would you describe what Incisor threw back at Sophia? Soul Search. No buffering from this end. Not right now. At least. If Incisor want its like to be um I might be a little harsh. Incisor asks Sophia, what's the point of living everyone else's life for them? I don't think that's quite accurate. It's not really what Incisor was getting at. Honestly, we're kind of long and I might just scrap that bit entirely. Incisor muses on Sophia's muses on Sophia's. I don't want to use raison d'etre again. Yeah. I might have to use raison d'etre again because I can't really think of another way of putting it. I don't want to use it 2 weeks in a row, but yeah, what's the I could use motivations. Absolutely. Raison d'etre means your reason for being, the reason for your existence, or the it's basically the reason for your existence. But more commonly, why are you doing what you do? What's the purpose behind your actions? So yeah, motivations, but at a more sort of a deeper core level than that. It's literally the reason for your existence. Did you buy your Saturday tickets yet? Buy your Saturday ticket. Maybe I'm not sure. Okay, so let's go to the notes. Where are the notes? Here are the notes. Okay. Let's see how long this is going to take. I've got my stopwatch, and last time on Changeling, we pick up in the morgue at Abford Farmer. They've shrunk Scythe down a bit and promised not to hurt Cassandra as long as she plays ball. Our heroes head back upstairs for a photo of P. Diamond. As Zeron comes over with a cold, Kyoko tells them to scatter and they head for the roof. Claude meets them at back as they float down 3 stories. Heading back to the Spark, Scythe tells them of her capture by a male about human height. Once regrown, she offers Patches a loose scale. Sophia's brings Scythe. Brom casually mentions they have the rocket. Sister boggles. Incisor reveals Kyoko White Abford security footage. Brom reunites Little One with Scythe, who thanks them for looking after her. Sister wants to take care of the rocket. They bring it to the new and improved balefire room. The freeholders stand around the fire. Sister holds up the rocket, which glows briefly, then goes dark. He tosses the inactive rocket to Sophia, but she wants confirmation that the volunteers who were powering it have been restored. Sister knows all 10 of them, and one is Brom's ex-wife. Brom calls Claire to confirm, and they have an awkward conversation about sunsets. Brom destroys the spent rocket, stabbing it in midair. Zista and Sophia call the other 9, confirming they've also recovered. One of them is Incisor's birth sister, but she doesn't know her birth family. The freeholders celebrate with cake and drinks, toasting absent friends. Brom challenges all comers to a soccer game. Sophia confronts Incisor over her birth family. Incisor muses on Sophia's raison d'etre. Is Kaylee still enchanted, or did she go back to her pack? Did Sophia ever escape the beanbag chair? And what story did Talos give Zista to build him a replacement arm? Find out on Changeling now. That is a minute 36. A minute 36 is way too long. It is 30 seconds too long. I need to cut a third out of this. That's going to be tough. I can cut this. I can cut this. I I can cut this. I'm cutting that now already. I can cut this. I can cut that down. We're in the morgue at Abford Farmer. They've shrunk side down a bit and promised to not hurt Cassandra. The heroes head back upstairs for a photo of P. Diamond. Yoko tells him to skedaddle and they head for the roof. Claude meets them out back as they float down 3 stories. Then they're back to the Spark side, tells them of a capture by a male of about human height. Oh, I really need that other word in there. Once regrown, she offers Patches a loose scale. Sophia brings I'm sort of intimating here that they've gotten back to the Spark. Heading back to the Spark, Side tells them of a capture by a male of about human height. Once regrown, they're back at the Spark. She's not regrowing in the back of the van. Sophia brings Zista to Scythe. They have a real conversation there. Do I need to mention this? There was a little moment there between Sophia and Zista, but I don't have time to, cover all of the things. Brom casually mentions they have the rocket and Zista boggles. Well, yeah, that was sort of a fun moment, but again, I don't have time. It's funny because he's not a boggin. He's a knocker. There's 2 reuniting moments here. Wants to destroy the rocket. They bring it to the new and improved. Newly improved. The freeholders stand around the fire. Sister holds up the rocket, which glows briefly, then goes dark. He tosses the inactive rocket to Sophia, but she wants confirmation that the volunteers who were repairing it have been restored. That is a clunky sentence. But it's got a lot of information, and I shifted the information that they were volunteers into that sentence. I don't need to mention the awkward conversation about sunsets. Brom calls Claire to confirm. Confirm here, confirm here. Stabbing in midair is sort of a cool moment. Again, confirm here. There's a lot of confirmation going on. I can just say they check the other 9. Birth sister, birth family. She definitely did escape the beanbag chair. So that's not really a question. And I need a better question here. I'm starting to get cold. I'm gonna need some food and some coffee soon. It's already... What time is it? It's been... Oh, it hasn't even been 3 hours yet. It's nearly 1 o'clock though. So I'm going to need a short break soon, but I'd like to get this down. The timing of this down a bit more first. And then I can take a break. Muses on Sophia's motivations. I think I'm going to go with motivations rather than raison d'etre. A, because motivations is faster than raison d'etre. It's the same 4 syllables, but motivations runs together a lot easier. And it's got that alliteration with muses as well. I don't really need that at all. I was sort of a bit out of left field. It was just a fun little thing that Scooter wanted to do with Braum, and that's fine. But it did not. It doesn't need to be mentioned. I could make it one of the 3 questions. How did Braum? Wait, aren't they jumping forward in time again? I think they're jumping forward in time again. I'm gonna need to watch the rest of it to make sure. But I think they're jumping forward to Beltane. In which case, my third question would be, and what's happened between now and Beltane? So I'm going to move this question up to here. Because these are 2 very, very past questions. This is super past. This is a question from 10 years ago. This is a question from a month ago. But yeah, if they are jumping to Beltane, then I want to change that. All right, let's retime it. Last time on Changeling, we're in the morgue at Abford Farmer. They've shrunk Scythe down a bit and promised not to hurt Cassandra. Our heroes head back upstairs for a photo of P. Diamond. Yoko tells them to skedaddle and they head for the roof. Claude meets them out back as they float down 3 stories. Heading back to the Spark, Scythe tells them of her capture by a man of about human height. Once regrown, she offers Patches a loose scale. Sophia brings Zista to Scythe. Incisor reveals Kyoko wiped Abford's security footage. Braum reunites Little One with Scythe, who thanks them for looking after her. Zista wants to destroy the rocket. They bring it to the newly improved balefire room. The freeholders stand around the fire. Zista holds up the rocket, which glows briefly, then goes dark. He tosses the inactive rocket to Sophia. She wants confirmation that the volunteers who are powering it have been restored. Zista knows all 10 of them, and one is Braum's ex-wife. Braum calls Claire to confirm, then destroys the spent rocket, stabbing it in midair. Zista and Sophia check the other 9. One of them is Incisor's birth sister, but she doesn't know her family. The freeholders celebrate with cake and drinks, toasting absent friends. Sophia confronts Incisor over her birth family. Incisor muses on Sophia's motivations. Is Kaylee still enchanted, or did she go back to her pack? What story did Talus give Zista to build him a replacement arm? And how did Braum go at 1v8 soccer? Find out on Changeling now. 1 minute 20. Much better. Still very long, especially when you consider that when I'm doing that reading that just happened then, that's faster than I read when I'm doing the recording. Soul Search, I'm glad to hear you have your ticket for Saturday. Good job. Okay. I instead of saying inactive here, I can say spent here, and I can lose that there completely. I can just say, but she doesn't know. One of them is Incisors' birth sister, but she doesn't know. That's a couple of... yeah, a Soul Search, I don't believe you either. And if your cousin is just cool with you crashing there and not really spending a lot of time with them, then that's that as long as they're okay with that, then I don't think that's going to be a problem. I need a word here that isn't confirm. I'm using confirmation and confirm too close together. So okay, proof. She wants proof. She wants proof the volunteers who are powering it have been restored. Sister knows all 10 of them. One is Braum's ex-wife. Braum calls Claire to confirm, then destroys the rocket, stabbing it in midair. I don't need this and, I don't need that and. That's fine, Soul Search. That works out. Okay. Where am I up to? This really needs to be, what story did Talos give Zista to convince him or to get him to build a replacement arm? I can move that him out of there. What story did Talos give Zista to get him to build a replacement arm? And to get him to, the way that we run our words together, that's not going to take up 3 whole syllables worth of time. So that's fine. Oh, a bunch of my friends are playing Conan Exiles again. I mean, it was sort of interesting, but yeah, it was good playing with my friends, but on the whole, I didn't find the game very exciting. Alright. Last time on Changeling. We're in the morgue at Abford Farmer. They've shrunk Scythe down a bit and promised to not hurt Cassandra. Our heroes head back upstairs for a photo of P. Diamond. Kyoko tells them to skedaddle and they head for the roof. Claude meets them out back as they float down 3 stories. Heading back to the Spark, Scythe tells them of a capture by a male of about human height. Once regrown, she offers Patches a loose scale. Sophia brings Scythe to Zista. Incisor reveals Kyoko wiped Abford's security footage. Braum reunites the little one with Scythe, who thanks them for looking after her. Zista wants to destroy the rocket. They bring it to the newly improved balefire room. The freeholders stand around the fire. Zista holds up the rocket, which glows briefly, then goes dark. He tosses the spent rocket to Sophia, but she wants proof that the volunteers who are powering it have been restored. Zista knows all 10 of them. One is Braum's ex-wife. Braum calls Claire to confirm, then destroys the rocket, stabbing it in midair. Zista and Sophia check the other 9. One of them is Incisors' birth sister, but she doesn't know. The freeholders celebrate with cake and drinks, toasting absent friends. Sophia confronts Incisor over her birth family. Incisor muses on Sophia's motivations. Is Kaylee still enchanted, or did she go back to her pack? What story did Talos give Zista to get him to build a replacement arm? And how did Braum go at 1v8 soccer? Find out on Changeling now. That is a minute 20, which is much better. One of them is Incisors' birth sister, but she doesn't know. Is sort of ambiguous. I'm going to change that back to she doesn't know her. Otherwise, it sort of sounds like, oh, the birth sister doesn't know that she volunteered. Everyone knows they volunteered. They're all volunteers. So I'm just going to add that back in. I was trying to read a little bit slower that time as well. Our heroes head back upstairs for a photo of P Diamond. I don't think really they I don't think that needs to be in there. I think I can dispense with that entirely. I think I've said every time, promise not to hurt Cassandra instead of promise to not hurt Cassandra. I'd like to say promise to not hurt Cassandra. And the other thing I'm struggling with is Incisor reveals Kyoko wiped Abford's security footage. I could say the security footage. But I'll see how it goes. Now that I'm thinking about it. Sophia brings this to the scythe and then nothing happens. Does it need to be in there? I mean, it's a thing that happened, but I don't really have anything to say about it. Oh yeah, your Gen Con's going to be all over the place, Soul Search. Hopefully you have a fantastic time. Having some of the Twerkle there will definitely help. Am I spelling briefly? I don't think I'm spelling briefly right. Yeah, there we go. That's better. The phones come back on. The phones come back on. Kyoko tells them to skedaddle and they head for the roof. Yeah, I like that better than they head back upstairs for a photo of the P Diamond. I could move P Diamond into the 3 questions about soccer. It's fine, Soul Search. Did they track down? Did they track down, or have they tracked down? I don't want to say tracked down because I'm really having to stop and pause between tracked and down. Did they track down P Diamond? So yeah, a lot of my word choices are kind of deliberate because of the way they sound when they're spoken, or because of how much time they take to speak. I know, Soul Search. I liked it too. I'll do both of them, Soul Search, and then we'll figure out how much time we have. It's easy enough to do both of them because it's in an isolated spot in the read, so I can quite easily do both of them, and then we can figure out which one goes better. All right, save on the night. Technically speaking, yes. I could drop it. It's a much more dropping the that after proof is an American English way of speaking. Having the proof that the volunteers, saying she wants proof the volunteers. That's an American English way of speaking. Proof that the volunteers is a British English sentence structure. So no, but yes. Okay, I think that's going to be enough. I can get rid of that. They've shrunk Scythe down and promised to not hurt Cassandra. The phones come back on. Kyoko tells them to skedaddle and they head for the roof. Skedaddle is a great verb there. I could also use book it. But I think skedaddle is the right word. Claude meets them out back as they float down 3 stories. Heading back to the Spark, Scythe tells them of a capture by a male of about human height. Once regrown, he offers Patches a loose scale. Sophia brings Zista to Scythe. Does John pronounce it Scythe or Scythe? Because for me it's Scythe. Brom reunites Little One with Scythe, who thanks them for looking after her. Zista wants to destroy the rocket. They bring it to the new... Bring it. They take it. They take it to the newly improved balefire room. Just so that I'm not saying bring again so soon after already saying it. The freeholders stand around the fire. Zista holds up the rocket, which glows briefly, then goes dark. He tosses the spent rocket to Sophia, but she wants proof that the volunteers who are repowering it have been restored. Zista knows all 10 of them. One is Brom's ex-wife. Brom calls Claire to confirm, then destroys the rocket, stabbing it in midair. Zista and Sophia check the other 9. One of them is Incisors' birth sister, but she doesn't know her. The freeholders celebrate with cake and drinks, toasting absent friends. Sophia confronts Incisor over her birth family. Incisor muses on Sophia's motivations. Now though, it sounds like Incisor's questioning Sophia's motivations for Incisor's birth family, and that's not what she was doing. What she was needling Sophia about was, why do you do what you do? Why do you spend time with these people and try and make their lives better? That is more her raison d'etre. I really liked I really liked it being her musing on her motivations, but it's unclear there. It's not clear there what I mean by that. All right, one more read through to double check the timing. And we'll see how that goes. And then I'm going to take a break for, I don't know, probably 10 minutes. I might cut the stream and then do a part 2. Just so that it's not all in one huge heap. Hey, look, we're right on 3 hours. Okay. Last time on Changeling, we're in the morgue at Abford Farmer. They've shrunk Scythe down and promised to not hurt Cassandra. The phones come back on. Kyoko tells them to skedaddle and they head for the roof. Claude meets them out back as they float down 3 stories. Heading back to the Spark, Scythe tells them of her capture by a male of about human height. Once regrown, she offers Patches a loose scale. Sophia brings Zista to Scythe. Incisor reveals Kyoko wiped Abford's security footage. Rom reunites Little One with Scythe, who thanks them for looking after her. Zista wants to destroy the rocket. They take it to the newly improved balefire room. Freeholders stand around the fire. Zista holds up the rocket, which glows briefly, then goes dark. He tosses the spent rocket to Sophia, but she wants proof that the volunteers who are powering it have been restored. Zista knows all 10 of them. One is Brom's ex-wife. Brom calls Claire to confirm, then destroys the rocket, stabbing it in midair. Zista and Sophia check the other 9. One of them is Incisor's birth sister, but she doesn't know her. The Freeholders celebrate with cake and drinks, toasting absent friends. Sophia confronts Incisor over her birth family. Incisor muses on Sophia's raison d'etre. Is Kaylee still enchanted, or did she go back to her pack? What story did Talos give Zista to get him to build a replacement arm? And did they track down P Diamond? And how did Brom go at 1v8 soccer? Find out on Changeling now. That was 1:19. Okay. I'm happy with the length. It's a little long, but it will fit into the 1:15 music track close enough. All right, I'm going to take a break here for 10 or 15 minutes. I need some food. I need some coffee. I need to go to the bathroom. I just need to take care of all that kind of stuff. So I will break here for 10 minutes or so. I'm going to stop the stream and then I'll restart again when I'm ready to go, rather than just leaving the stream running here and having to run in and out and play Be Right Back music. It's a little unfair to BRB for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to stop the stream here. Stopping the stream here. Tune into part 2 in 10 to 15 minutes. To 10 to 15 to maybe 20 minutes. Or find it on YouTube if you're watching back later. All right. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me at CaptDaf on Twitch and Twitter. I'll put a link to the second video in the show notes for the first video and vice versa. Or it might come up in the what else you can watch thing, and just do that. I'll see you again soon. 15, 20, it's probably 15 or 20 minutes. And until I see you next time, drive fast, take chances. Bye. Hit the button, Dave.